up with a date against Enterprise for a spot in the grand final. Of course, the winner of the league will be invited to EWC, so a lot on the line for all of these teams.
Yeah, and I think for these two teams, I ended up picking GG. I think you went the way of Chiefs, which I can understand either way in terms of who you want to select for this match. Like we were saying on the couch, realistically, there's not a lot separating GG and Chiefs. And Enterprise is in that conversation, which is really good for the Oceanic region. We've gone from essentially one local super team that was able to go overseas and do well internationally with the Bliss roster. Then it got split up, and then we ended up end of last year with two teams, Gladiators and Chiefs. And now we've got three teams. I mean, it's not unprecedented. If you go back a good couple of years, you think back to the old Chiefs, Knights, wildcard, order kind of days in terms of the Oceanic region. We've had multiple good teams. But I think at this level, for these three teams who are all pretty neck and neck and all certainly capable of going and doing well internationally, that in itself is almost unprecedented. So Chiefs will be on defense first up as we head to Chalet. It is the map pick of Gaimin Gladiators. I was having a look at the numbers, and James touched on it on the desk, and I'm glad he did, in terms of Jigsaw and Croxton. I mean, we're talking about the best two players in the region throughout the group stage. Number one for Jigsaw, 139 EPS, which is 12 EPS higher than Croxton, who's in second, plus 38 KD, plus 14 on the entries, a whopping 79% cost. So Jigsaw's coming into this is clearly still the best player in OCE, even with the imports, of which Croxton's second, Creed's fourth. I think Creed's gets forgotten a little bit in terms of this GG roster and how good he has been as one of the imports for this roster. The other notion in all of this is, in a bygone era, it used to be the Wettables and Oda show, either together on the same team or as rivals. And both of them really struggled in the group stage. Wettables with 26th in EPS, Oda 29th EPS, -7 and -8 KD for both of them, -2, -3 entry for both of them. So, I mean, like... Obviously, for Wettables...
You need to catch your breath? You've been talking for about a minute 30.
I'm going through a lot here. I'm trying to get through a lot here. But for both of them, I mean, clearly for Wettables, a different role. Now playing that more supportive role. At one stage, even IGLing, that's now changed. That's with Leighton. But for Chiefs and for Oda, they need Oda firing back to his best.
Croxton lurk. And for the audio listeners out there, it is Castle, Azami, Blackbeard, and Blitz off the board. Bar Gaming round one, and Croxton lurking up library stairs. He's found an avenue up, uncontested, and takes down Jigsaw. So the duel has already begun between the two, and Croxton looking for more.
How fitting is that? Opening duel. Jigsaw, Croxton, and Croxton wins out.
He's about to get another.
Or
maybe not.
He was quite low from that initial engagement, so immediately was able to get
but
traded.
Tex was rushed.
So to help out. Leighton does go down, so they lose hard breach. Certainly still around, that's up for grabs. Croxton should get revived here, top library. So it should be very much 4v3, but he will remain low. Now logic bombs remain available.
I do get the sense that a large portion of this game will be dictated by firepower. So who's sharp to kick off this match? Well, at the moment, GG with a slight lead. 60 on the clock. And the drop to follow. Oh, that was awkward. Oda dies. Creed's to mop up, and Croxton catches the flank. Josh also falls, and GG with a clean opening round.
Yeah, I mean, that is a round in which GG, just clean, quick, fast entry, they're able to really utilize this map. And Chalet is a map, especially in the Oceanic region, where you can play some fast siege if you're really good at it. And these two teams, when we got the map vetoes, and I saw Chalet, and I saw Bank, and I thought immediately, what does that bring me back to? It's almost like the old Bliss days, when a lot of the players that are in this server right now essentially all played together. It brings you back a little bit, and you think, well, those are two maps that we used to see Bliss in their prime play quite a lot of, do really well on. So I'm not too surprised that we go to these maps in particular. But GG just straight out of the gates. Croxton knows his role. First entry. Brendo used to be the man in this region as one of the best entry fraggers. He has to now fall back and play second entry to allow Croxton that space. But Croxton's been so good at it in this stage.
He was such a big win con in the last round, right? Lurks in, through mud, up library, opening kill, freebie onto Jig, pressures onto the second. You look at the defensive lineup, and disregarding secondary utility, they had Mirror, Warden, Wamai, Sentry, Jaeger. They have no anti-lurk. They don't have traps. They don't have anything to slow them down, give that audio cue, visual cue, etc. So that's probably something that Chiefs need to be mindful of going forward.
Yeah, 100%.
They do bring the Wamai for this particular... pardon me, the...
The Wamai? been a long day.
The Malusi.
I think as well, that's the other factor for these two teams. They've been quite fortunate. Like, what is the time now? Like 9 p.m. local time. So they haven't had to really sit around all day. They've been able to go out, do other things. I think Josh had work. So he's been able to go to work, come back, chill, and then have some time and now get to play some games. They haven't had the Ludovica experience, or Ludovica, as Pingu's trying to catch on.
These EU imports, man.
I was looking at some of the numbers as well. So when we kind of look at what are the best teams, well, Enterprise are the best team at attacking and defensive. So Chiefs are the second best team at attacking. GG are fourth, but then it flips quite heavily the other way. Chiefs fifth for defensive win rate, second for GG. So that's going to be the struggle here for Chiefs on a map like Chalet, and we already see it in the opening round. Defensively, they're not their best so far this stage. So that's going to be their challenge in this first half. We know they're a good attacking team, led by Jigsaw, but they've got to do well on the defensive rounds, and it's Josh to find the opening pick onto Croxon. Huge, not just because it's Croxon, but it's also the Thatcher taken off the board. Further strengthens those Kaid Electric Claws set out by Tex. Good start to this round for Chiefs. Must compound on this early advantage, and Jigsaw lurking bar does give them good map presence.
Josh with a +3 entry this stage, so it has been somewhat of a strength for him. And now puts Chiefs in a more comfortable position, but certainly not round over for GG. Boiler to be opened up, that it will expose Pillar if it is to eventuate. Though I'm not entirely sure if the wall has been opened, no, frozen. That Zodo from Odop. Nitro pre-ripped as well, so anybody close by will need to be mindful when the wall is to open. Will immediately throw it, doesn't catch anything. And now pressure on Odie here to hold firm. Has 2 ADS devices in support, and his last Zodo just all at a little bit of time.
Yeah, good utility usage. Leighton goes for the creep lurk through Boiler, and Oda's still watching it. I don't know if GG needed to go for that. Still had enough time to find other avenues, such as that push from Fireplace. Brendo, though, traded by Jigsaw and leaves Creed stranded in a 1v3. Oda on the ground. But at this point in the round, and considering where the kid is actually located, it looks as if Chiefs will be able to show up their first round here on the board in the second. Creeds will get himself a nice 4th kill. Good for the stat pad, but surely too far gone in terms of being capable of winning this round. And Chiefs are playing this in terms of the formal way. They're not over-peaking. They've got good angles. They know he can't push West Main. Josh has got this covered. Josh will then get the swing. That's really good team coordination by Chiefs to make sure that no one gives their life away. No one puts themselves in a position to throw this. And we get an early pause on the board.
So a good 2 and throw to kick things off, a 1-1 scoreline. Josh doing a good job in opening and closing round number 2. Tech pause to follow, so hopefully we get this sorted in a jiffy. Will be the final round of this particular rotation, and Kitchen likely the site of choice. Liked what we've kind of seen from both teams in very small glimpses thus far.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's like the early round from Gaimin Gladiators highlighting, I think, Croxon's strength as an entry fragger, being able to walk in, get kills. And obviously when it comes to Chiefs in that second round, just a little bit better from them in terms of an area that they have actually lacked so far in the group stage, which is their defense. So for them to get around in that fashion, really good for them. Unfortunately, just an issue with Wettables at the moment. Hopefully not too long until we can get back underway. Kitchen Dining will be the third site.
have you actually ever been to Frankston Station IRL?
I have not. I have not.
I've heard a lot of things.
I don't think I would want to. But I mean, you know, there's a first time for everything, and I feel like I've
we
kind of
were
been
just
there.
there.
Yeah, I feel like we. Well, maybe we still are there.
At this hour, that would be very dangerous
It
on
would
a
be
Friday
very
night.
Actually, I just realized it was actually daytime Frankston Station. Maybe we need to get a nighttime Frankston Station.
That was an oversight. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
To be fair, when we did enter this building, it was daytime.
was
I don't know if
daytime.
it still is.
Well, when we leave, it might still be daytime the way this is going. Certainly tomorrow, where we got Asia tomorrow.
4 BO3s.
Oh, man, that's going to be a long one.
The sun will likely be rising as we leave the building.
Yeah, it certainly might be. It might be. I had to actually walk over to the car park before and clarify. I had to hit the intercom. And be like, can I leave the car park at 2 a.m.? Is that a possibility? And they're like, yeah, it's 24 hours. You're fine.
Come on, mate.
Well, on Google, it was saying it closes at 10, so I panicked.
Ugh. All right, we're good. Back in. Issue resolved. As mentioned, Kitchen will be the site of choice.
Yeah, and you know, Wettables is someone we spoke a lot about on the co-streams. Shout out the co-streams, by the way. Good fun for those in chat who joined in on us.
Yeah, some of those players coming in for a bit of a chit chat.
Yeah, even the players as well. You know, he kind of spoke at length about sort of the role swaps and that he's gone through in terms of the transition on this GG roster over the last couple of months. You know, going from someone in the region known as a fragger, someone known for high kill potential, and suddenly you're now ending games, you know, 3 and 5, or you know, 5 and 8, or something like that. And mentally, that was the biggest thing for him, was going from such high numbers to then such low numbers. But transitioning into his more supportive role is something that takes a little bit of time. The way that you've got to play suddenly changes quite a lot. You can't just ego swing and ego peak. You're playing more akin operators that need to stay alive or have utility, for instance. And you kind of just got to trust in your teammates like Croxton and Creeds to come in and do the job.
So triple drone line up here as well. We have the shock drones from the Twitch, the Clutch drones from Brava, the Roteros from Flores. Looking to chip away at that utility, potentially hack it for themselves as well. And so those Electro Claws are at threat of being taken out here. That's, of course, then to, well, I presume, open up the walls, but no hard breach. So there must be some kind of different game plan here from GG. Surely they wouldn't make that kind of oversight,
no,
right?
I think we've seen kitchen dining get played in quite a few regions now where
Depends,
you don't necessarily bring the hard breach. You don't necessarily need it.
They're doing the open hold office. I mean, it could be more of a West Main centric.
I think this is going to be West Main and potentially top floor clear through Solar. There's multiple. If you get that West Main control, you can play the Solar stairs. And then you're also threatening in towards kitchen.
So mind games perhaps then from the attack, try and bait Chiefs into an over rotation, but potentially.
Well, right now they're just setting up for it. The prep is certainly there.
Okay, so not an open hold office. It is fully reinforced. What's the game plan here from GG? Is this the EU meta in play?
Well, I mean, it could be, right? I mean, that's really what you want to see from GG. That's what you want to look at is what can they bring, what can Titan instill in this roster, and then the players that have come over as well and play to a higher level.
Very much just want to sit back and watch how this round plays out.
Yeah.
Fredo does find the first.
Well, it's just patience. You understand that around this minute mark, Chiefs are probably getting antsy and they want to start peeking to find some information.
And they walk in.
And then they just walk into the site. They get the 2 kills. Oda, I imagine, must have gone for a peek, got punished. And they've still got Creeds as well towards Ego. This is something Chiefs wouldn't even be aware of. You walked in, you get the site down. This is some clinical siege right now from GG. Yes, there's some fire back from the likes of Tex and Josh, but the damage is done. As soon as you get that plant down, and the way that the round was constructed here by GG, well, they live up to their names, and this round is certainly a GG, and that's going to make 2 of the 3 rounds now won quite comprehensively by Gaimin Gladiators. And I like this round even more than the first round. The first round is essentially just pure bloodshed. Walk in, hit some really good shots. That was a really well-constructed round. They had a goal, they had a plan, good set play, executed it perfectly.
Yeah, squeeze the defense, pressure, play safe, frag positions on the exterior, get those picks, it opens avenues to sight, and then it's as simple as having a player on Ego contesting any vert potential there for the plant denial. Not overcomplicating with hard breach.
I really like that.
Really well played, actually, yeah.
And I think that's where I've been kind of touting this line, that when I've in the APL region, which includes OCE, Asia, APAC, North, I've kind of been saying, like, I think Weibo's got the best potential, and I've kind of got GG rep behind them in that potential category. Right now, if you were to say everyone plays each other in a Battle Royale tomorrow, maybe FearX would be the team to come out on top. But in terms of that potential ability of these rosters, Weibo and GG, for me, I think are the 2 that are at the top in terms of where they can be within the next 6 to 8 months. And you kind of look at rounds like that.
I think that round for me is a really good example of the kind of attack that I don't think Chiefs would be defending against very often.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of strategy and approach that can catch teams off.
And it's also that kind of strategy and approach that you want to then bring internationally. Like, that's the kind of strategy and approach that you then, if you make a major or an international event, whatever it may be, that you can then employ and have the confidence to kind of follow through with that. You know, sometimes you see a lot of the APAC teams, they might lack a little bit of that quality in terms of set plays and, you know, design strategy in the way that they want to play these maps. And they kind of rely a lot on their gunplay. And sometimes that works and you get the odd result here and there. But what can Chiefs now do to respond? Because they kind of were their own downfall as well in that. They got baited in. They started peeking. They wanted information. They could have kind of played a little bit longer around the sites themselves and look to contest and wait for GG to push in, but they kind of pushed out, and that gave the avenue for GG. Now Creeds goes on to the Montang, so they flip it up again. So it's another round where Gaimin Gladiators are not just going default, default, default. It's constant change.
Croxon again will be a player to watch on the lurk, on the Nook. So evidently we'll be looking to crawl his way probably through towards West Main and make a play up into that position, but also has routes elsewhere, bot library stairs, bot main. He'll likely react to the information that the rest of the team can gather, and a large portion of that will probably be from Creeds, who could do so safely on the Monty. Team stacking ego currently. Certainly a top floor presence, though, from the Chiefs' defense.
But even that, you look where Leighton's positioned. So Creeds is going to push in towards office.
Quiz hiding solo.
And if there was anyone in there, they get pushed out. Where? Piano. Who's on the window?
Just Creeds. Do his due diligence. Maybe not.
Got to check this. I mean, he's the Monty. He can kind of soft check it.
Oh,
wow.
Should have been a kill.
Yeah, should have been killed. 100%. Quiz should have got that one. Very lucky, Creeds. And then he gets a big tag onto Brendo. Turns back around. Now he's pinched. Now he's in some trouble. Does hit the headshot onto Creeds. Quiz has gotten Brendo even further lower. Done a really, really good job from this position. Admittedly, should have got the initial kill onto Creeds, but at least he's followed through. Spots another one as well. Josh can deal with him over towards Solar. They've got him absolutely pinched here in Leighton. Stuck in towards Piano. And Chiefs will look to respond here in the 4th round flawlessly. And so far, it feels like the start of a heavyweight bout where both of them have landed a blow each and a blow each. And it's 2-2. And they both look good in the rounds that they've won. They've been quite convincing. But it's the defensive rounds for Chiefs that I think matter more here on Chalet. Being a team themselves, it's a 9% defensive round rate difference, my God. 54% to 63%. That's huge. But in terms of the attack, it's only a 2% difference in favor of Chiefs. So that's the difference between these two teams statistically coming into a series like this. So if Chiefs are getting defensive rounds, that's going to be a massive weight for them. And yeah, should have probably got that kill.
Oh, it's a rat play, but the follow-up here from Quiz in terms of positioning was
really
absolutely spot on. I don't think that the pinch attempt there from GG was really all that bad. I mean, well, maybe the ADS from Monty was a bit mistimed.
They had Leighton on the Piano window. The Monty pushes through. They get forced back into Piano. Leighton can then swing and get the free kill. But there's no one in office.
He sustained so much pressure.
Yeah, there's just no one in office.
It's a bit of a rat play, but again, pays off. And Chiefs equalise the scoreline.
That clash and no Brava, of course, from the previous round. So that Monty then comes out. So it's we see this a lot in the group stage where, you know, maybe you don't bring the Monty, you don't bring it, and then suddenly we ban the clash, we bring it. You know, the clash is certainly good at being able to stall out the Montang. We go basement now, 5th round, 2-2. It's hard to split it. The rounds that Gaimin Gladiators have won, you sit back and you think, okay, this might end up, you know, being a stomp. Then you go back and look at the rounds that Chiefs have won, and you think, well, there's the response immediately. Now, though, another opportunity for Chiefs to get on the front foot here. Can they make this 3-2 going into the final round of the half? And they themselves then maybe take the ascendancy and the momentum. And certainly with that Nitro from Jigsaw, it captures that momentum perfectly. The kill onto Brendo extinguishes that Deimos. And suddenly Chiefs take a very small advantage in this match.
Chiefs can now certainly breathe a sigh of relief. Not entirely sure if they'll be aware that it was actually the Deimos taken out, but they may be able to deduce that. No mute for defense. And of course, the Deimos into this lineup would have been rather strong. Let's see if Chiefs can now convert this advantage. Look from Creeds. Logic Bomb call. Now half expired. Continues to just creep forward here. A little bit of pressure. Forces Oda to be smart. Hold the line. Creeds looking to clear Util on the wall. The Electro Claw. Leighton will likely then come to swing around and open that up. It's a 3-stack from the team.
Still haven't dealt with the claw. Now, they do have multiple secondary EMPs.
They all rotate. Croxon now going above for Verd on the Ram. Maybe just looking to garner some attention elsewhere.
I like that position for Josh, though. Again, playing West Main. We saw this last time here on Basement, where he was able to hold that West Main stairs and then eventually cut the cross. No one really paying attention of it in terms of GG.
Well, Croxon's in kitchen, so Josh could be on here in a moment.
Indeed, there it is. Good pick, good call.
Get me on the sticks, Alex. Get me on the sticks, mate.
And it's 6 for Josh, and he hits the headshot as well, following up, takes out Creeds. 5 versus 2 now in favor of Chiefs, and all down to the support players in Wettables and Leighton. So you've lost all your firepower. And certainly Wettables is still capable, but is playing a vastly different role. He's on the Kappa Tower. And with 40 seconds left in the 2v5, Chiefs should take what will be a third round defensively. Wettables does shut down Josh. A spark of hope, a glimmer. But they need something magical here from Leighton. Full HP, Wettables so low.
Zodo.
And then the Zodo to further stall out. You need to walk through this doorway. You have no other way in.
This is 15 seconds on the clock and round over. There's absolutely no world in which GG
Can't make this cross. Even if he does get one kill, the trade will come through. And in the end, now Chiefs go up 3-2. And this boxing bout continues blow for blow so far on Chalet to begin.
Yeah, this is good siege. This is good siege between the two. I'm enjoying this. I think, especially probably more so for Chiefs, I was a little bit maybe more concerned going into a game like this that we could see a version of them like we did in group stage where they weren't quite firing, but I think they've very much warmed up and now beginning to peak at the right kind of time. They're showing good adaptability. GG equally trying to throw different punches their way, but Chiefs seemingly quite clued in. And I mean, taking a snapshot at stats as well, Josh, 7-3.
Yeah, massive from Josh.
That's ultra impressive. Don't get me wrong, incredibly talented player. I say only a 103 EPS during group stage, still great, but not necessarily consistently posting big numbers like this.
And if you compare it as well, if you look at the top 10 players in OCE group stage, there's 3 players from GG in the top 10. There's only 1 for Chiefs, and we know it's Jigsaw in the #1 position. So that's quite a large discrepancy in terms of the overall contribution that you're getting from multiple team members. It's Jigsaw or nothing. That's been the motto for Chiefs. A lot of the times, if Jigsaw's not firing, Chiefs will lose. That's a lot of pressure on an individual. But the hope was with the acquisition of someone like Josh, you could get a little bit more firepower. Quiz was sensational towards the back end of 24. And if he can continue to hit and make good strides, he offers more firepower. Oda's able to then play a bit more of a support role alongside Tex, which I didn't even get to Tex, by the way, and it's a damning statistic. He's the lowest rated player in playoffs that we have. In fact, he's 40th coming into playoffs, which means that in terms of the overall EPS for OCE League, he was bottom 6. Now, he is a hard support player. He's not expected to get kills, but he is probably expected to survive. And to be fair,
how does that stack up to like a Fisho guy, for instance, right? Like a very well-known hard support.
Well, Fisho guy is an 83 EPS, Tex is a 77.
Okay.
So, I mean, again, similar sort of margins. And it's not to sort of highlight that Tex is bad. In fact, I'm highlighting he's got 2 kills so far, only 2 deaths. So if you're going to get Tex to be able to find a little bit extra, suddenly there's that tiny little bit extra for a team like Chiefs, that certainly needs it, and they can't be just relying on Jigsaw. And in this case, so far, that has been why they're succeeding.
Reloading. Final round of the half. Kitchen in play. Good info from Wettables, and the swing to follow from Creeds.
Well, here's the answer back now from Gaimin Gladiators.
Damo shotgun.
I wonder, is that a heat check for Josh, just playing that ego bulk position up close on the mute? Or is it just probably a bit more of a power play from Creeds? I think it's more in that camp.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it was quite late prep, but still. You don't anticipate it to be contested probably at that point in the round. Does put pressure now on Tex, the man we were talking about, to try and lock down offers. Has the Zodo canisters to extend this hold. Croxon now lurks.
He'll need help.
No one on the shield.
He's going to need help.
Oh,
he hits. No, he doesn't. He takes down the entry Croxon on the Nook. He was eventually traded by Brendo, but elsewhere Creed's lost his life. And therefore now Chiefs up 3 versus 2 in the round, despite the opening kill going the way of Gaimin Gladiators. Wettables, hello, welcome to the party. Big kill onto Quiz, and suddenly it's a 2 versus 2. Jigsaw, Oda, Brendo, Wettables. All 4 of them used to be on the same team, and now they fight each other here in the final round of the opening half.
Quite the death match. Nitro fails from Jig, now under pressure from above. Yellow ping. Oda to follow. Utility lands. That's a Nitro kill. Wettables stranded on Repel. Likely won't feel safe rappelling in. Does have time, though, on his side. 70 seconds.
Old Wettables was capable in these positions. With a minute left, Kit is in a still decent position.
Against Jigsaw and Oda duo, though?
Well, I mean, in his prime, I think Wet was certainly capable, but now as a support player, is his mentality there that he can kind of slip back into that old mindset, that old role where he's got 50 seconds. He's got some time. Think this through. This is not a rush moment. This is not 15 seconds on the clock.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
And for Jigsaw and Oda, double stacking West main here and playing off of each other needs to be the best way to close this round out.
GG have that shock drone trophy window elsewhere though.
Good rotate.
Limited info.
This is good from Wet. Made noise over towards trophy side. Now comes in towards the dining hallway. 30 seconds. Still has time to play with. Still not rushing this. And he finds the kill onto Jigsaw. The headshot lands. And we get the old rivalry. Oda versus Jigsaw. Sorry, Oda versus Wettables. Jigsaw dead. 20 seconds. Goes for the kit. Gets off it. Ooh. But Oda will sit him down.
He almost won it. I tell you what, that first bullet either missing or hitting the shoulder, almost costing Oda and Chiefs the round. Wettables, phenomenal effort, but unable to get that one across the line. Therefore, GG to trail heading in to their defensive half.
Yeah, I mean, a massive half. I mean, where you can talk about momentum swing after momentum swing, where it felt like at moments you could see the raw strength of Gaimin Gladiators and how good that they can be when they get their game plan going. And on the flip side for Chiefs, just felt like a bit more raw emotion and playing a bit more on that in that half and able to get some really, really big rounds.
I'll tell you what, Jake, if we get 3 maps of this quality of Siege, I'll be very, very happy.
I'll be very happy, individual indeed. So only the 2 attacking rounds won for Gaimin Gladiators. That was on Bar Games, Kitchen Dining. You kind of look at the opening kill margins as well, split evenly 3-3, but it was only that very last round where we saw the swing Creed's ego onto Josh. That was the only opening kill round that was not converted.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
And only narrowly as well.
Yeah, I mean a 1v1, which I thought Wet played that really well.
And most of the rounds as well, dominant, right? You go through the round history as to how many players were left alive at the conclusion of the round. 4-3-3, 5-4. Final round, just the one. So the rounds themselves were rather one-sided, but just I think the ability for the teams to switch on and really counter to one another very quickly from round to round was quite impressive.
And I've got to say as well, I mean, this is, don't forget, this is the map pick of Gaimin Gladiators. And Chiefs were able to get 4 defensive rounds for a team that was only ranked 5th in group stage for defense. 2nd best attacking team, only behind Enterprise. Now they get to go attack Chalet. And this is Jigsaw's map.
Yeah.
This is Jigsaw's map. Chalet entries on attack. This is where he does a lot of his best work, a lot of his damage. The Jigsaw balcony outside Piano. What have GG got now? And they've already used their timeout. Well, that's a freebie from Leighton on to Oda. That's a really good way to start the second half.
Yeah, cheeky way to get that opening kill. Very difficult for the attack at range to see that slit in the barricade. And if that stat is to be damning for Chiefs, potentially, of opening kill conversion, well, this is going to be a very tough round for them to wrangle back into their control. They bring the Sense into the lineup, a roster that does like to dabble in the Sense from time to time. But that tool most useful for Execute. ROU to go out the first.
3 Nitro Cells available as well, mind you, when you're going up against a Montaigne. That's a lot of firepower that can deal with the shield. And also can deal with, essentially, the ROUs. You can kind of just, you know, throw them through, hope for the best, depending on position and usage.
Oh, Tex just sends it.
And Creeds did throw his first Nitro. I say his first Nitro,
Ooh,
first of the team. Impact's not really doing a lot, but they do find the kill into Josh elsewhere through Croxon. That's his 4th kill now. And that Nitro from Leighton will land. And the IGL and hard support starting to get firing in this round. A big round from Leighton.
And Jigsaw unable to have any impact really in this round. I think they were trying to set him up for the pinch over towards Mez, and it just never really eventuated. After the Monty got caught, it was pretty much round over.
Not able to react quick enough there, Quiz, to find that headshot. And that really does kind of feel like round over and goes back to the overall story that we've been pretty much outlaying for this match so far. A lot of these rounds have been quite one-sided both ways. Unless Quiz and Jigsaw can do something off of that kill onto Croxon. Quiz goes to 6 as well. And so far, it's actually Jigsaw that is tied bottom fragging for Chiefs. That is quite a rarity. What can he do here, though? Through Dining, 50 seconds, still time, 2v4. If you can both get the next kill, it becomes a 2v2. And then it's that mad scramble for the defense. And it's not going to happen. A 3rd kill for Leighton. Make that a 4th, a 4K from the hard support of Gaimin Gladiators. Leighton with a massive round, and he got the opening kill as well, which set the tone for the round. Gaimin Gladiators saying that we are not going to give this up lightly. 3-4, and they start well on defense.
1-5 heading into that round as well. So making up for that deficit immediately, doing a good job at shutting down the setup that Chiefs wanted to go for top floor. Kicked it off with a nice spawn peek, and then obviously followed up there onto Tex through lobby and fireplace, which made things very, very tough as they tried to pinch for some top floor control and unable to really get it going. Tex was under a ton of pressure. Jigsaw outside, unable to support. Quiz got stuck front door, and the rest of the team just chilled for the round win.
And of the big three kind of support players, Leighton, Fisho, Tex, from the big three teams, Leighton is statistically the best EPS player of the three. And certainly has got capabilities. In terms of plants, though, he's actually quite behind. Fisho's got 6 plants and Tex has got 6 plants. Only the 3 for Leighton. So a little bit of difference in terms of those. And Fisho's then also got the best cost at 69% versus Leighton 63, Tex 58. So it's really close between Fisho and Leighton. I would imagine in this region where you could claim as best hard support / IGL. 3-4, and it feels like now you're just in that eye of the storm moment where this could go either way.
Oda's been flicking his second floor cam for quite some time, so presuming Chiefs want to get some map control above. Creed is lurking master, and Oda may well have a read on that and relaying that to the rest of the team. Again, suggesting a full map clear here. Quiz will then vert with the Ram late round. Opens up the possibility of the West main hit, which is probably the most likely outcome without primary hard breach.
And don't forget as well, last round that you're going to have the Monte. That's going to get banned out after this.
Oh, they lose the fight.
And they lose Jigsaw, 3 and 5, no Finker. And Creeds with another big kill, having a really good game so far for Gaimin Gladiators, 6 and 5. Funnily enough, how close this game is, he's the only one that's positive right now for Gaimin Gladiators. I say that as 3 players, of course, net neutral, +0.
Oh, they keep Croxon up above Solar. It gets checked. Tex, you saw him.
No!
Tex, you saw him. You saw his elbow.
Well, clearly not. Didn't see enough of it. And Croxon will make him pay and trade it eventually, but you lose the Montaigne permanently because it's not going to be allowed after this round. It's going to get banned out along with the Blitz and the Blackbeard. Big kill from Oda. The second time now in this half, or in this game, onto Wettables. I mean, everything's kind of going right for Chiefs. I mean, Oda's firing, Quiz, Josh, both doing really well. Even Tex has gotten involved, but where's Jigsaw?
Can Chiefs win this game without Jigsaw
Yeah,
at
that's
his
the
best?
big test.
That's the question.
That's the big test, and we're starting to see firsthand if Chiefs are up for it. 3 versus 3, round 8. Certainly a winnable round, and some really good shock draining from Josh. I say that as he missed one up close, but he gets it anyway. Onto the bulletproof camera. Minute left in the round here for Chiefs. Quiz is low.
Quiz still has a breacher. Oda has full belt of util here, so I think the drop default plant here might be the play. Sound coverage. Oda can clear space. Maybe Josh lurks.
Little live drone as well here over towards Library Stairs or West Main Stairs. 40 seconds. The big thing for Chiefs here is do not go in with 10 seconds left. You need this hit to start eventuating as soon as possible.
What are they shaping for? I mean, they've got a read now that there's one main breach. Do they risk it and send it main? Oda has secondary hard breach? Is that the play? Bin plant late?
Try and keep them out of these tucked in positions. Put some pressure in front breach. He could go back out. He could just leave this as bait.
They're playing into double nitro though.
Reposition over towards the shelf. Quiz, now fireplace stairs. Chiefs are going for a split execute. They want to try and cover as many angles as possible. The timing is everything. 1-for-1 trades down to 6 seconds. You need to get these kills. Oda does have the get. No time really to plant it. He sticks it and needs to hold it the whole way through. Quiz needs to provide that cover necessary for Oda to get this down. He cannot do so. Denied by Leighton. And we are all tied up 4-4.
Yeah, really clean work there in the end from GG. It felt like Chiefs... They were kind of cooking, but then ultimately didn't properly commit to a single win con there with the plant. I don't know if that was lacking info. I mean, the drone through blue to me suggested that
I thought they were going to go for kills.
Yeah, seeing the Warden posted up there at bins, I was like, oh, that's... I don't know if I want to be hitting there. I would have thought the back hit with the B utility may have been a bit more effective, but you know, they did commit to the plan ultimately in the end, but effectively a 1v2 that late in the round when the plant needs to go down. So
I mean, this couldn't really be any closer. And both teams are kind of sitting back thinking our first entry fraggers aren't really doing a whole lot.
It's a weird game.
-2 for Crocs and -2 for Jigsaw, the two best players in the Oceanic region. But it's a really good sign for both of these two teams. They're able to get the job done even without their best players firing on all cylinders. It does almost have the sense of feeling, though. And I don't want to put it all down to just those two players because everyone else is playing really well. And I think this has been a really good game so far. But does this end up being a case of who wakes up first, Croxon or Jigsaw? And if they get going, that might be the difference. Because otherwise, there's not much separating these two teams. By the way, I went a little early. It's after this round that the Montang will be banned. But Tex will get one more go at it. And they essentially bring a rather similar lineup.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
the dynamic as well could also be a little bit map specific too. So keeping in mind that we do have bank and consulate if required. Bank's going to be so intriguing given the scale of that map and how that may influence the entry play and how these teams look to shut down Crocs and Jigsaw respectively.
Well, I think Creeds has been really good. Leighton has been amazing. If you want to give anyone credit right now, he's playing well and above the averages that we've seen from someone who's playing that, you know, IGL support role. And Josh and Quiz have really stepped up to help the firing power still be there for Chiefs. It's been a really good game. Not an implication that the earlier games today were not.
No one firing above a 75% cost as well. That's the cap, and several players inside of the server hitting that threshold at the moment. So there really just has not been a runaway player at all in this lobby.
Is Josh ready for this? Lurking in mud. Croxon. Oh, he's not going to be... Surely not. Oh, he just...
Oh, what is going on? Oh, did he hear it? The shuffle? I don't think so.
Good kill. Yeah, well done from Croxon. Really good patience. I think Josh wanted to kind of bait out initially. If anyone was close by, that they'd bite on the first sound cue, and he just doesn't, and he waits until the best moment. Really, really good work from Croxon. Good fundamentals.
Quiz posturing lobby, but then thinks better of it.
Where's the answer back now for Chiefs? But I mean, to be fair, you don't have to go searching for that immediate answer. That's how you get yourself into more trouble.
And they need Tex to scout for info here. They have hard breach as well for office, so Oda can scoot across and open that. And this is, you know, the difference between these two teams. Chiefs leaning more towards a very default setup, whereas GG went for that obscure kind of attack that was difficult to read. GG are going to know exactly what's heading their way.
Oh, 100%. This is a rather default set here from Chiefs. And you've already lost the line. You've already lost Josh. GG are able to really kind of double down certain positions now, if they want to. But Croxon's still lurking. Bot Garage. It might just still provide a slight avenue here for the Chiefs. It is technically 4v4 upstairs. Tight angle from Leighton, but he has been on fire so far tonight for the Gaimin Gladiators. He's now 7-5, but shut down by Jigsaw. If that adrenal surge, they now push in. They did lose Oda, who was holding Kit, and will stay top mez. And Tex will go back, pick it up. Takes it through Piano. Ball's position now known and shut down by Quiz. Really good play off the Monty, and Tex is still going deep here with the Kit.
Yeah, bold decision to stick around. Croxon lurking, so it will be mindful of that. Could open up flank potential later on in the round. Just over 35 seconds on the board then. Jigsaw still up, so firepower available. Quiz can lurk, double nade. In fact, quad nade with Jigs as well accounted for. Croxon west main, so no longer in basement. What's the play from Chiefs? Tex will rotate diffuser.
Oh. I mean, they've got to just send it. There's very little time left. The way that they're moving around the map now is just kind of go as quick as they possibly can. Croxon, now there was Quiz watching this before, but no longer. Quiz turned his attention towards the site. Big pistol from Tex, but so little time to now get this plant down safely, and they're both down and out. Gaimin Gladiators re-establish the lead here on Chalet. Pretty funny moment that you don't actually often see two players down, but the round's not over as one of them is playing the finger.
Yeah.
And that Monty now banned. But you know what? I'm going to go on a limb here. I think actually the Monty ban might help Chiefs. They have not really been able to get it to work.
So does it get banned?
Yeah, I mean, if you've banned out the Blitz and the Blackbeard, you probably triple down. And no, they don't. Well, you make a good You make a good point. It's sort of like, hey, you keep bringing this Monty, we don't have to ban it because we're dealing with it.
We haven't seen the Maverick played once throughout this match, so that's clearly some kind of pre-match read from GG in anticipation for a strat cooked up by Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, either to deny Chiefs or to do something that they want to do here on defense that would maybe be slightly undone by the Mavericks,
I guess
such as
this,
like bar games.
The backstore strat here will be nullified.
So you can strengthen this down with the... This is going to be really difficult to unlock backstore here.
And that's the exact position where Layden popped off previously,
It
which
did.
is maybe
Okay.
why they bolstered it, so that he can play there even safer.
Yep. And it's honestly, at this point, if you win this round, you're up 6-4, you've guaranteed OT. You might theoretically be a little bit more susceptible elsewhere. I feel like the Valkyrie ban, is that impactful enough here, though, from Chiefs?
5 seconds to go.
Got played round 8 by Brendo.
Attackers objective.
Maybe they just want to focus more on their lineup and then not need to necessarily focus on other operators like bringing out Brava, for instance, or Twitch.
Well, after 3 rounds consecutively by Chiefs, which got them to a 4-2 lead, it's now 3 rounds straight on defense by GG. It's 6 rounds straight on defense by both teams. Only 2 attacking rounds have been won here on Chalet. Both teams have been unable to really make these attacking rounds work. Not since 2 of the first 3 rounds were attack rounds. Everything defense since, and on all sides. Oh, beautiful. The difference as well, so far, on the defense of Gaimin Gladiators, they've just been aggressive but well-controlled aggression. We saw it with the library peak. We see it there with that run out. It's a safe one. Jigsaw does get the cut back, so as Croxon's coming in, Jigsaw's positioned for it, so it's a good trade, but you have lost Oda now.
I guess it's a decently 50-50 trade. I mean, the Oda execute utility is obviously really nice to have. I would say, though, the Legion, especially against the Monty, is very powerful. So
I would say it's slightly in favor for GG. Oda's losing drones, he's losing Grimbees. You're losing a player that can hold kit.
it's marginal. Certainly not one of the more definitive
The Gaimin
trades.
has still made an impact in the round, so
Probably the last one left on the map. Won't be anymore.
there's only 90 seconds on the clock here in the 10th round. GG searching for that match point advantage. Once again, Tex will play the Montang, and once again, Chiefs will look to try and play in behind him. A slight change up. Quiz now plays the Finker instead of Jigsaw. They've got him on the Ash. They want him to focus on just finding kills. Josh actually sitting in the Jigsaw bulk position.
Well, the shields are cleared. So Chiefs have that runway established to try and clear these positions.
Did you want to try that again?
No, I think you could hear what I was saying. Sounded like I am a pack-a-day smoker, but I'm not.
Well, you are from Frankston. Today. And slow and steady, though, here for Chiefs. Again, when you're playing behind that Montang, it's hard to go with a real pace. Creed's poking and prodding towards Library Stairs. We know that Leighton is locked down in Barstock. Hasn't got a Nitrocell, though, any longer after throwing that one out. It's going to be a late site execute here from Chiefs. They haven't even cleared out Library. Tucked in the back corner is still Wettables. Big opening pick, though, by Quiz onto Creeds, and suddenly the man advantage for Chiefs. Still with shield up. Good little double angle here between Brendo and Wettables. Now Wettables looks to peek out as well. Sight rather open besides Barstock. They do deal with the Montang. Makes it a 3 versus 2 in favor of the Gaimin Gladiators. Quiz wins the battle against Leighton, who pushed out. So little time and no kit in hand and nowhere to be seen. And so therefore it's 6-4 to Gaimin Gladiators. Another tight round between these two.
I mean, what a big commitment from GG. 2 players posted in Library on that cross so late in the round. It's do or die for both teams. Whoever wins that clear is going to win the round. GG able to find both picks despite both being spotted out and a bit of an awkward interaction against the Monty, but they stranded that diffuser. Big win con ticked off and a 6-4 scoreline. Well, it all started here. Croxon got the first, nullified, 1 for 1, rather 50-50, but then both of these swings here, massive. Wettables, Brendo, the Aussie duo for GG, able to get those critical kills, and completely shut down Chiefs in that round, who just seem like they're lacking in the 1%ers at the very end of this map, because it has been very competitive from them so far.
Yeah, GG have just had a little bit of extra class about them.
Just their attacks, that they're struggling. They are yet to win an attack. Like, it's 4 straight for GG.
Yeah, 4 straight for GG. 7 defensive rounds straight from both teams. And you suddenly think, well then, 4 straight here for GG on defense. Where does suddenly Chiefs go and find 2 straight attacking rounds to force OT? Hard to envision that happening.
First master bedroom we have seen selected thus far. It was bar, wine, kitchen, bar.
I mean, at some point, do you sit back and think, we've lost 4 rounds straight on attacks where we've played the Montang. All 4 rounds we've seen this Montang. And I'm not necessarily saying, this is not about Tex, this is about the operator in the Montang. And the way that you kind of play around the operator. If you're not winning these rounds, do you think about more of a dramatic change where you drop the shield, get an extra gun, try and play with a little bit more passion?
GG have shown really good positioning in countering it.
Oh, big kill from Oda.
Creed's
In
down.
terms of that opening kill department, by the way, we touched on it at the half. Well, it has continued in terms of conversion. Only 1 round so far has not been converted in terms of opening kill, which was the final round of that opening half. Every other round since, that means it's been 5 rounds straight that Gaimin Gladiators have found the opening pick. That now changes here in this match point round.
Failed Nitro from Wet, but 2 still remain in the pockets of Brendo and Layden respectively. Could be strong against third setup that Chiefs are likely to play. Texlock's trophy. Very low on HP, so he needs to be mindful of that. Thankfully for him,
not
they're not in
again.
the face of any impacts.
It'll be the same player as well. Out of March.
Josh.
Croxon onto Josh for the 2nd time.
That's a tilter.
In as many rounds, it's been 2 rounds since we saw it, and Josh had already forgotten about the potential Mudlurk. Another one from Croxon. And that would be such a big thorn in the side of Chiefs to lose that Ossa, to lose one of their 2 shield plays. Just over a minute left, and suddenly all tied back up 4v4. As Tex is also incredibly low, pushing up in towards Solar. We see the Rayora and its use here. Gate activated right now in towards bedroom, though you've still got Brendo up close, right behind the door. And if he so chooses, he too can open this.
Chiefs unlikely to divert that position now from below. They're running into a death trap here. I do not fancy Chiefs' chances in being able to win the round. Nitro,
down.
Bang. Tex down, and
Brendo!
Quiz.
Huge headshot. And just like that, it's all done. GG's class prevails on Chalet. Ice cold as the map itself. 7-4 against Chiefs. And that set them up perfectly now for this series as their incredible run from an early group stage where things were looking a little shaky. Well, it feels like they're on the right track now, setting themselves up in this upper bracket. A classy display after what began essentially as a boxing match where they were going blow for blow, Guz.
A 5-round streak and capped it off by defending Master. They did the full rotation, every single side defended successfully by GG. Chiefs finding it so difficult to find an angle in that match.
Yeah, absolutely. 1-0 to Gaimin Gladiator. Short break will come back on the other side. We will be heading to Bank.
When I hear it coming up like that, I just know that things are gonna end bad. When my body only moves for the beat, you've been waiting for me. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it, la 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it, la 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, then walk with it, la 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la, I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. I'll just drop like I'll just la 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 la. I'll just drop like I'll just la 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. Just drop like just drop like just drop la 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 la.
Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the potion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up, switch it up, switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly, listen down, know the right way to go. I'm on the road this bad time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe, you're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that kind of emotion, just my kind of heat.
もう泣かない。きらりきらめく夜のムーンライトかける街に一人歌う。ああどこにだって安らぐ場所見つけられずまだゆらりゆらめく夜にムーンライトセピア祈り移る私目が覚めたら孤独の中差し込んだ光寂しさで許したから後の愛もう弱さも涙も私は必要ないの。きらりきらめく夜の上に暗い君が残したキスきっと裏切りさえ受け入れても今夜は泣けないゆらりゆらめく夜は Maybe 明日ここで笑える私もっと強くなれば変われるなら愛なんていらないわ。I can do it better, I can do it faster. Various 묘들게 주문을 걸어봐, yeah. I can go much longer, I am so much stronger. Various 묘들게 주문을 걸어봐, yeah. They provide me shade and I really thrive on it. 오늘도 역시 괜히 기분이 이상해. Sipping lemonade from my lemon tree honey. Let me spill the tea on all these haters all love me. 누가 봐도 killing it, winning attitude. 당당하게 올라가, see my altitude. 나랑 맞서 싸우면 baby you would lose. If I wasn't me I get it, I would hit me too. I can do it better, I can do it faster. Various 묘들게 주문을 걸어봐, yeah. I can go much longer, I am so much stronger. Various 묘들게 주문을 걸어봐, yeah. 자신과의 싸움에서 지면 야구르지. 매일매일 일어나서 부터 보는 거지. Look in the mirror, say you're a winner. 주문을 걸어봐, yeah. In a bad mood, 바꿔버려 in a hurry. 꿀꿀한 기분 헐어버려, I don't worry. Get through the weather, feeling get better. 주문을 걸어봐, yeah. I can do it better, I can do it faster. Various 묘들게 주문을 걸어봐, yeah. I can go much longer, I am so much stronger. Various 묘들게 주문을 걸어봐, yeah.
Banger after banger, tell 'em Tina, me not do it better. Banger after banger, tell me who could even do that better. Banger after banger.
So as we head to the second map of this series, Gaimin Gladiators 1-0 up and looking to close this out now on Bank. But it is the map pick of Chiefs. And we did see some really good quality siege on Chalet. I'm hoping that does translate over here to Bank for the second map of the series. Gaimin Gladiators will begin on defense first up. For Chiefs, we saw a lot of Montang play. Now, to be fair, GG had no issues dealing with the Montang, so I'm not anticipating they'll ban it in the conversation we had earlier for the third ban during that second half. It is going to be an ace ban to begin, followed by the Sens ban.
Okay. Certainly a target onto Chiefs, who dabbled with it back on Chalet, and again, an operator that they have dabbled with in general. Bank as well has become a rather popular specific map for the Sens. You think about basement, there's the lineup that they do from main hatch down, security covers red, makes the default plan or the shashi drop a little bit safer. And GG not wanting to contend with that here in their first half on
Even top floor as well. We've seen
there's
the top
options
floor.
too, yeah.
You can also use it towards elevators. It's got some really, really good use on this map. And even for staff open area. And obviously the team itself in Chiefs do like to play the Sens, so I think you're definitely taking a bit away from that. Intriguing. Oda's on the Montang here for the opening round. Tex will go on the Maverick as the hard breach. And yeah, certainly in terms of storylining from that opening map, like we kind of set the tone early on. You got Jigsaw at 1, Croxon at 2. They're the big gunners. They're like, you look at their KD numbers, they're just fragging out through the group stage. So it was almost thinking Croxon v Jigsaw, but in the end it was everyone else v everyone else, and Croxon and Jigsaw kind of sat back a little bit, certainly played their roles and certainly still had impact in moments, especially Croxon in the mudroom run-outs twice onto Josh. But it was Leighton that really, for me, stole the show on Chalet.
Five rounds in a row for GG on Chalet to lock it out, so they'll very much be looking to extend that streak here onto map number 2 of Bank. The Montia contentious talking point back on Chalet. Questionable at best in terms of the utility that it was able to provide for Chiefs, but it will persist here into the second map. Oda, though, to take the reins this time around. Tex on primary hard bridge.
It'll be intriguing because I mentioned before I didn't feel like it was because of Tex. It was more the Montang itself and the way that they were playing around it. But it will be funny if it starts working now that Oda's on the Montang. Not so funny if you Tex, probably. I think the slow clear here is good for Chiefs early on. You know the way that GG were playing defensively on Chalet. Certainly a lot of wrap positions. Certainly 3 over the wheel. It's still that first floor here at the moment for Gaimin Gladiators. So pretty standard hold right now. Croxon, though, with the prone angle on main stairs. And it's Quiz to get the opening kill onto Creeds. Good start here for Chiefs. Take that freebie, but speaking of freebies, maybe Croxon might have got one. The drone, of course, playing the vigil, and they do clear him out. A second for Quiz, who played quite well on Chalet.
He wanted to push forward, and I wonder if him pushing forward, the second or two delay allowed Quiz to catch him potentially there. Yeah, either way, 2-man advantage to the Chiefs.
It's all about the final round execution. I think you touched on it on Chalet. That was kind of, at times, their weak point in their attacking rounds in that second half, was the ability to finish. Well, that's a nice little bit of information, a little poke there from Josh on the shock drone. They're set up nicely, though. They got the numbers. They can hit multiple avenues here on basement. 3 gas babes available for Latent, 1 Nitrocell for Wettables in Vault. To be fair, in terms of time remaining, 45 seconds with 3 gas babes. The default plan right now doesn't really seem all that likely. Pushing through server right now is Oda. This is where Leighton's going to get these gas babes out and on point, but so far not enough to push Oda off the plant.
Nitro!
Starting to hit some of these now.
Big.
Nitro as well, but they do get the plant down.
Ooh,
in the
yeah.
3 versus 3. Adrenal Surge from Jigsaw was just activated, so you can't use it now to get Oda back up quickly. That's on a cooldown.
Should be round over from here. Post plant, basement, default.
Oh, hang
Jigsaw needs to win it.
He certainly does. He did get one onto Wettables, but Brendo was there as the secondary. Got the kill onto Jigsaw, which does now give them control unless Tex loses his battle inside of open. Now rotating around through Archives is Brendo to come in towards Square. 14 seconds, not a lot of time. Leighton got caught on the push. Brendo checks Square, doesn't find anything, and certainly now doesn't have the time to win the round, and Chiefs will start off Bank with a round win.
Good from Chiefs. First 2 picks, default conversion, plant denial, a fraction too late. Had it have been denied, potentially an opportunity there for GG with a decent retake as well on the cards, but ultimately not meant to be. Second floor to follow. And I guess Chiefs there in that last round, not too dissuaded by the sense ban, ultimately not particularly impactful. That Nitro just needed to be ripped a second earlier. But the coverage and the pressure in the back lines there from Chiefs and Serv was good.
If this does go overtime as well, Chiefs have got double defense too. Recall, Consular is the deciding map if it's necessary. Really good opening round for Chiefs. And it's also a little bit of a monkey off the back as well, because it was 5 attacking rounds in a row that they failed back on Chalet. So to kickstart off this second map with an attacking round sets them up very nicely.
10 seconds to go.
And it was Quiz that certainly unlocked the round. 3 from Brendo at the very least does instill some of that self-confidence for him. Just didn't have enough time to go for anything miraculous in that opening round. So 1-0 Chiefs. Wedables on the Echo. Okay, towards lobby.
Would have seen that player outside it, I imagine.
Tex now onto the Blitz, which was left available. GG not opting for shield bans here on Bank, as they did on Chalet, where they banned out the Blackbeard and the Blitz.
Certainly more util heavy, which can be an appropriate approach. They may even then elect to ban the Hibana outright and just make this top 4 slightly more difficult to attack.
Yeah, essentially at that point you really can't open up Kanto towards the elevators without the Ace Hibana. It becomes very, very difficult.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Everyone's set in their positions here though for Gaimin Gladiators. Wet will hold Kanto. They got one over towards Janitor and Leighton. Front desk held by Brendo. It's all about lockdown sight. Force Chiefs to have to break through. Croxon very much lingering between Janitor and this stock position, but not holding it directly.
Jigsaw not taking down that Kiba with either frag grenade, so
well, you
wasteful
imagine
util.
To be fair, the Blitz at one point, you would imagine Tex is going to want to try and go for that Janitor clear or that hallway clear. I think Croxon's going to be trying ready for that, rather than sticking and holding directly into stock. He can certainly help out on that hallway push against the Blitz.
Chiefs have used all their explosives here, by the way. So deployable shields, keep it barriers. I don't fancy their chances if GG's positioning and timing is good.
Croxon trying to catch someone here on the timing now with that stock peak, thinking that might be trying to go for that push square. Tex is already into Janitor though, and he finds the headshot onto Leighton. Here's the Yokai from Wedables, but not going to do much. And caught again. The pistol of Tex has found a second head in the round. He goes for a third, and Tex is playing as if it's about 6-7 years ago. A 3K on the Blitz entry from Tex. Not something you see every day. And looking to try and finish off Croxon, going for the 4K, but he gets down in the process. Finished off by Croxon. But with that plant down and a 1v3 post plant from this stock position, it surely should be a second round for Chiefs here on the attack of Bank to kickstart this second map in the series.
Good flood. We saw how much utility is left standing at the end of the round, and Chiefs were able to find the path of least resistance towards site, where a lot of that utility wasn't standing. Jan, Londesk, etc. Tex headed that attack, did a good job. Rest of the team followed site. Good utility from the Capital. They did a pretty good job in nullifying some of that information from the Echo, or at least preventing players in the backline from playing off of it. And then those like Wedables still left standing very late in the round. Brendo, etc. just completely isolated. Long distance from site. Unimpactful. So a good round from Chiefs and a big confidence boost as well for Tex, who really doesn't frequently have those kind of pop-off moments. So good work from him. GG now. We'll look to compose and find a response. Open area for round number 3. And that streak from Chalet, obviously, not carrying over here onto Bank just yet. They're finding it a little bit more difficult, some more teething issues for them to work through.
Well, it's just been really good from Chiefs, and what a big round as well from Tex. Yeah, the responsibility of playing that blitz. You have to be aggressive. You cannot be apprehensive. And his ability to push into Janitor, start pulling that pistol out and getting some kills, really, really good to see. In the first map, it was a latent wake up from the hard support, and now here in the second map, it's looking more likely it could be Tex's time to shine. And he, though, now falls back to the Montaigne. As for Bank itself, 58% attacker win rate in the Oceanic League, but from a very small sample size of only one game played. Still have to mention it.
Brava IQ in play. Good set to counter the Valkyrie from Croxon. Seen at least one of those came flick to inside of square. Potentially still a couple more lurking around this map of Bank, and they can be tricky to find at times.
Loser of this, by the way, takes on Circular Spheres next week in what would have to be a gauntlet run. The winner takes on Enterprise in that upper bracket final, which is also a week from today.
So Brendo is spotted and forced back down main. In the meantime,
Quiz again.
Croxon falls. Oh, Brendo almost dying as well there as Quiz hits the question mark in all chat. It's been quiet in the chat thus far between these two. It's been very professional.
Yeah, it has, but maybe for good reason. Both teams haven't really been absolutely thorough throughout the group stage. But this is certainly the map where, you're 4-2 here, Quiz. You're 2-0 up. There's another opening kill. That's 3 in a row now for Chiefs and 2 from Quiz. You want to try and get into their heads a little bit here in terms of trying to put GG off their game.
So Vert in play won't be particularly impactful, but Oda doesn't know that. Both first 4 players on site. Brendo really the only serious threat at this point in time, lurking blue stairs, playing for a late flank. Wedables playing over towards main as well. Oh, Creeds does catch Dex. That's a nice pick from that quad wall position. Josh also falls. So it flips in an instant, 35 seconds on the board, and Chiefs on the back foot.
And that's the big thing as well, the time factor now. That's not a good moment for Chiefs to lose 2 players, lose that advantage. And suddenly now Jigsaw and Quiz need to get moving. That question mark early in the round may come back to bite Quiz. Not a lot of time left in this round to make that push, to make that move. Brendo's moving himself up blue stairs as a flanker here on the Vigil. Certainly can have impact and will do so. That shoots out Oda, that's Kit on the floor into red time in a 1v2, and Quiz is unable to win the battle against Wedables. Gaimin Gladiators on the board here on Bank.
Yeah, Chiefs with limited time and information, unable to really contemplate that blue flank may have been coming into play. They probably lost track of Brendo after the dual main stairs. A lot happening between then and the ultimate conclusion of the round. So with round 3 complete and 4 on the horizon, it is the Blitz in combination with Valkyrie to play no further part in this match. We saw Chiefs pretty heavily invest into countering the Valk. So we saw IQ round 2, and then Brava and IQ round 3. Can probably alleviate some of that pressure now. The Blitz as well, only played on the one occasion, but as we saw, a big multi from Tex, the 3K to open up the round top floor. So pretty heavy counterplay from both rosters heading into the final 3 rounds of this half. We'll see how that shapes things up and impacts play. Basement selected for this 4th round, which was won out pretty comprehensively by Chiefs last time. The stats a little bit deceptive, goes down as only 1 player surviving, but 2 impactful, or unimpactful kills rather, in the post from, I believe, Brendo skewing that statistic. Chiefs did a good job in battling their way for a default plant, which ultimately GG failed in denying a fraction late on the Nitro. So maybe this time they'll look to bleed time on the clock and make that a bit more of a win condition for them. As you can see, a bit of an extensive roam in play. Croxon on Vigil. Brendo in open area.
It's important as well for Chiefs they don't get carried away with that 2-0 start. We saw back on Chalet what was, at the beginning, a really good start for Chiefs. And then where did it all go wrong in the second half? Well, it's early days here and Chiefs have started well, but there's still a lot of Siege still to be played here on Bank. And certainly Gaimin Gladiators may not be statistically one of the better attacking teams in this region, but this map is certainly one where you can find really good amounts of attacking rounds. But it's been really good pacing so far from Chiefs. Trying to see if they can catch any of these GG lurkers, roamers, people moving around the map.
They do sometimes push a pretty tight late round.
There's the pick. And there's a double.
Wow, that doesn't get much more free than that.
Well,
for
I'll tell
Josh,
you
does
what,
it?
I mean, it's literally what I'm saying. They've got really good patience. You might say, yeah, it gets a little tight towards the end of the round, but if it pays off, boy, does it pay off. You know that they've got lurkers up above. You know they want to play the map control game. And they've punished it well and truly. And Croxon peaks, and that's a third in quick succession for good old Josh as Croxon falls through the hatch. He may get picked up after all by Wedables, but Wedables himself has got to be careful, and he doesn't get baited by the down player. 5 versus 2. Tell you what, Josh could be on for an ace here in this round if he had a caught Leighton. Leighton thought about a beeper swing there, but thought better of it. You're playing that smoke. You've got 3 gas babes. Time can still be on your side if you can delay this push default through server into CCTV. And you've still got the Yokais as well. Not a foregone conclusion, but arguably a round that Chiefs need to be winning. Timeout requested as well by Gaimin Gladiators after this round.
Gas canister missed, but able to follow up. Yokai in play, gas shot, plant to be secured in a moment's time, unable to be denied by Wet.
Couldn't get the Yokai to work and couldn't get the gas babes to work. And a 4K now from Josh looking for Leighton. And Josh will find it. It's an ace for one of the OGs of this region. An outstanding round from Josh. Clear as day, looking he is switched on for these playoffs. Certainly not one of the higher rated players in the group stage, but thus far through this series, he's been on his game.
Bit of 2021 about that one.
Just about.
So the tactical timeout from GG called before the conclusion of the round. Fell apart there a little bit. Maybe a bit of a miscomm or an oversight early on in the round and allowed Josh to collect these 2 kills. Follow-up response then was difficult. Croxon forced into the peak to try and contest and maybe find something back. Caught. GG attempted the bait but unsuccessful. Then shaped up for the default and Josh able to lurk down main late in the round for 2 more kills. Chiefs doing a much better job, I feel, in this particular map in shutting down that danger man of Croxon and just their general team play elsewhere. Not sandbagged by the likes of the Monty has looked quite a bit better.
I mean, it feels like it's got all of the makings of a map 3 here.
So far, yeah.
So far.
But, to be fair, I probably had a very similar inkling first half of Chalet, and that concluded with GG just wiping the floor. So, very much a game of 2 halves, and GG Bank attack will be dangerous. Round 5, top floor. Maestro in play, Creeds to hide it. So they'll be leaning into a lot of information this round in combination with the Yokai drones from Wet. Emphasis on quiz in this round on IQ and spotting out that information, relaying, doing their best to try and deal with it. Chiefs didn't do very well in terms of their destructive econ in the last round. We saw that into the keeper barriers.
5 seconds to go.
There was a deployable shield standing late over towards front desk too. And so not only do you have that to deal with, but now Castle in the mix, Maestro in the mix. There's a lot to juggle here for Chiefs in terms of managing their economy in this round. They have 6 grenades though. We'll see how effective they are this time around.
Well, I think for Chiefs here, it's just all about capitalizing on your advantage, finishing strong these 2 rounds in this half. And the good news again for them, we spoke about this before back on Chalet, it's not that reliance on Jigsaw that's winning them these rounds. That's a good sign. Josh and Quiz have so far tonight been absolutely exceptional, being their 2 best players statistically across both of these maps that we've seen so far, Chalet now Bank.
So one cam executive for the Maestro and the other over towards, I believe, Stock Hall. At least that second one we saw in towards site, or pardon me, the first one in towards site should be a relatively simple clear from the rappel. We saw the other one over towards the CEO desk dealt with very easily as well. So a little bit better here in terms of destruction and explosive damage from the attack. Not really much in the way of gunfights to take place so early on into the round. Both teams rather patient, and that's kind of been the tempo of the match thus far. Such can sometimes be the case on a bank. Here's Odo, who took the reins on the IQ off Quiz. Spots out the Yokai from Wedables, who's been looking to be quite active on these drones and finding information in towards the sites, but may want to retain that in towards the late round. Another thing to note as well is Croxon, second floor hallway, still has 4 Keybers in pocket. He'll be looking to bolster his position solo over towards Stock, and Jigsaw may well be looking to contend this in a moment's time. Only 60 seconds on the clock, Jake, so this round has gone by quickly.
Well, it certainly has, but this is the pacing that we've seen from Chiefs really throughout this entire half. They don't rush the early portion of the round. So far, it's been to their benefit. But this time around, GG have not given them any.
Set play Capital. Croxon gets the first, though. Jigsaw falls.
That's a big pick. And a second to follow as well from Brendo, and suddenly that pace of Chiefs will backfire. This time, Gaimin Gladiators the one to find these opening advantages. Wedables as well still has Yokai. At this point with Oda towards lobby, it's looking very unlikely for Chiefs. Quiz playing well. Big pick towards top main. 30 seconds, now waiting for that hallway peek outside of Janitor. Oda did get a kill, and suddenly this is still a round that is winnable. But it's going to take a mighty effort, and Quiz had a chance to sit down Croxon permanently for the remainder of this round. And while he was then left alive, he found the kill onto Oda. Leighton swings around to find the kill that will secure the round for Gaimin Gladiators.
GG hitting the scoreboard once more, and off the back of the tactical timeout. That will be quite satisfying for the team. Doing a really good job again leading into the win cons that were available. Castle's Army utility, information on the Maestro, which ended up being nullified for the most part, but then of course wet late round in that 3 versus 5 had a drone, a Yokai drone inside of CEO. They had a full read as to what that play was. Probably would have had the game sense and the anticipation that the repel was to follow off the back of the belt of util anyway, and by finding the 2 picks elsewhere, they didn't have to worry then too much about the lurk threat. All eyes over towards site, able to shut down those players looking to approach, and Chiefs unable to really get much going in that round. And so the plaudits going to largely Croxon, honestly, in that round. Jigsaw still finding himself
Struggling.
At risk of having a bad day today. He's not quite there yet. He definitely can pop off and find form in any particular game, so I won't rule him out until the very end, but it has been a rough day at the office for him so far.
I mean, yeah, like that's the concerning element, and is obviously for Jigsaw, a bit of a rough series so far. I think that Jigsaw has enough credits in the bank, though, that you're not looking at this and thinking, oh my god.
Second rated in the league.
First.
He is the lowest rated player at the moment inside of the server today.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
But again, how many times, especially throughout those quiz streams in the group stage, where we were kind of saying, well, if Jigsaw's not playing well, Chiefs don't play well. That's not happening so far.
That's the contrary, right? You've got Quiz stepping up Josh. Tex doing his supportive role, and Oda's kind of just chilling on the flex and the vert. So.
Yeah, and Oda played well as well on Chalet. 3-2 though. I mean, this really can go either way in terms of the conclusion of this half. If it goes to 3-3, hard to then say that GG don't look like the better team going into the second half. Leighton though, he has an issue over towards CEO. He's taken down, and while he's not eliminated, he is down at the moment. Someone should be able to get over there and bring him back up, and certainly an urgent one to keep the smoke alive with those gas babes. Jigsaw, this is your moment. Ooh. To be fair, Creed's only went for the shoulder peek. That's the big swing though onto Wedables, but Brendo there to then get the trade. It is an opening kill for Jigsaw, but you lose the Finker. No adrenal surges for the remainder of this round, and Leighton was not able to get brought back up. He's now out, gone. No smoke available. 4v3. Nitro watches that. Is thrown in towards long desk. Tech's able to avoid it. Thought about the pistol. And a little bit more pacing this round here from Chiefs.
Brendo takes a hit as well, but able to vacate down below over towards open. So it's a 4-3. Pacing should slow a little bit. Croxon still eager to contest main, but escorted back alongside Brendo. They'll probably look to set themselves up in towards site, but no Nitro, just doubles Odo. maybe they need to go for a play. I think Brendo senses that sitting on site here is not the win con. So may lurk below. Options are pretty limited for defense here, especially if Chiefs get a read and they have 3 drones and the Monty for info.
Yeah, very little utility. As you mentioned, the Zodos, that's it. Brendo can play the Vigil and
there we go, that's
for
the play.
reposition. Indeed, that is exactly what happens. Good pick onto Quiz. Croxon does his work as well. By finding that pick onto Josh, it just flips it immediately. Goes from Chiefs having that slight advantage to be able to close this round out behind the Montang. You lose 2 gunners, and suddenly it's only Oda and Tex against Creeds, Brendo, and Croxon, of which 2 are still quite low. 30 seconds left, and it's time for Tex to pull that pistol out once again.
Oda able to make an entry in towards site with the auto breacher. Tex archives will maybe look to head the charge. Brendo's already lurking and can backstab from this position.
Oh, he does not hit the shots, though, and gives his position away in towards Talers, but enough to at least try and dissuade him from pushing forward. He can just come back through beepers anyway. Creeds loses his life. Now, they will anticipate at least either the back push or the beepers push here by the Vigil.
Has
in
the
towards
cross.
Star. Tex is getting that plant down. It is only Brendo left inside an open area, and that plant goes down, and it's a Montang, a full health Montang to deal with. Brendo is stuck on an island in this 1 versus 2, and I don't think he's got a way off it. This is really down to Chiefs to make a mistake here. It's the only way in which Brendo will win this, and no mistakes made. Oda will capitalize. Chiefs, the slight advantage going into the second half for what will be the second game in a row.
Cool, calm, and collected from Oda. Brendo, I just don't think had the confidence to go for that flank, maybe anticipating the read, and you could see Oda was wary of it, but ultimately they lined up for the cross, and Oda had that line held, committed to covering Tex, and whilst Brendo was able to eventually dash across, too late, Tex shield up, 2v1, unwinnable, barring a big error. Chiefs don't fumble, 4-2 lead, but the anticipation here being that GG, and I'm basing this again off some of the ideas and strategy we saw in Chalet, can cook up a successful bank attack half. I'm very convinced by that, and I'm confident that they can very much be competitive here.
When the contrast is there, though, it was a 4-2 half to begin on Chalet.
How'd that end?
And then 5 in a row to GG.
Yep.
The only difference was GG did that on defense to close out. Now they're going to do it on attack to close out. They don't need 5 in a row, but you get what I'm saying. Consulate, the third and final map, if required. Chiefs must close out here on Bank. Loser of this drops down to that lower bracket where you get no more chances. It's a grueling bracket, guys. It's to basically win the league, you would have to win 4 best-of-3 straight, no failures.
Tough.
It's not easy.
That's a grueling path. So basement then for round 7 to kick off defense for Chiefs. Thought initially it would be lurk heavy from GG and maybe Creeds would send the Nook through Garage, but some late attack repicks.
Also, what it would mean...
Whoa, why is Oda so low? What's happened there?
The loser of this would have to play 2 best-of-3s next week.
I don't know what Chiefs have done there, but Oda self-inflicted damage there from the flames.
I mean, to be fair, you're playing basement smoke, so as long as you're not doing anything too silly, you're going to hopefully keep yourself in a safe position to just be able to play the late game for the gas babes.
Oda will play the backline though and should be safe, so it may not be too impactful either way though. Creeds with early server control. Good perceived pressure for the remainder of the round. Chiefs need to ensure that he isn't allowed to lurk in towards the objective. Creeds will drone forward, scout. Shock drone's likely to follow. He's eager to clear the Goyo canisters rather from Quiz.
I love the clash here as well because it's set up with the standardized hold in towards CCTV where you bring the Goyo and the Vulcan canisters all laid out. You can also now deny these shock drones.
Missed as well, so that's big.
It's actually really, really clever here from Chiefs to kind of use that clash. It's really difficult to have someone kind of just standing in the middle of CCTV. Usually you just entrust a lot of this utility. You've got to open up this admin hatch, put pressure on Tex.
Any longer, Tex will vacate, hatch open up, scoots away. No roam from the defense.
It's still, that was a shock drone shot out. You only got 1 left now.
I think the second one though, very successful. I believe that's all canisters popped. I didn't quite hear them all, but I think visually it looks like that may be the case. Even round at the moment. Tex to scout open area. Oh, shield down. Frag grenade to follow. Tex forced to pick up the shield. Survives. Well played.
He's played this well. Good delay. Nuisance here against Wet, who on the Deimos wants to be the nuisance.
I would not want to be Wet right now.
They do lose Quiz elsewhere. To be fair, just playing the Goyo, it doesn't really change too much. Oda's still got 2 gas canisters. Oda finds a kill onto Leighton as well. Wettables is still just kind of stuck doing really about nothing. Jigsaw caught on the rundown bot main. Wasn't aware that Croxon just pushed up through Garage. It's a 2 versus 2. Now make that 1 though. Another big pick from Tex because he got Wettables in that 1v1 upstairs. He can make his way now back down bot main. He doesn't need to. Oda's there protecting the fort. (5-2) Chiefs edging closer in that search for the 3rd and final map of this series.
Damn, what a crazy round. I mean, showing the versatility at the clash there. Wetter was under so much pressure, pinned in towards that position, used both frag grenades, Tex juggling the util correctly.
And it was quick as well. CCTV, deny a shock drone, rotate back up main, and battle towards beepers.
And then Oda in the meantime, peeked hatch, did a good job despite being low on health.
We'll see what happened here at the start of the round in terms of Oda. He did take a bit of damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure who triggered it, but... Either way. Yeah.
You got any extra explanation there?
Nah. I mean, understandably, we weren't really watching that because it doesn't typically happen, but apparently he shot it himself, I'm told, so...
Right.
Just Oda making things more difficult.
That's all right. He's 8-3. You can forgive that, and he clutched up at the end of that round as well with some big kills on site because suddenly Gaimin Gladiators switched it up. They just went for that garage push, wanted to try and clear out site, and it started to work. Some big kills going the way of GG. And again, they're doing this with Jigsaw 3 and 6.
All it's going to take is for Jigsaw to hit a play here, build confidence, and then...
That final map could quite literally be decided. If Jigsaw activates and plays like the player that he is, that might just be enough to put Chiefs over the edge in this series.
Yeah, I do wonder how he's feeling right now. Does he feel like he's underperforming, or is this a case of GG just having a really good read on him? Maybe elements of both.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both. So Creed's on the Deimos now. Wettables tried to play it in the previous round, but was beaten pretty comprehensively in the 1 versus 1 against Tex, who's been sensational so far tonight.
I think it will be Deimos for the vert pressure below onto that mirror Jan. Probably the expectation. Doesn't have a death mark onto Quiz specifically, but it is Oda above playing that position.
And I feel like Oda's that kind of confidence player as well. As he starts to play well,
he's ready for it.
He's ready. he's also happy to play a bit more of the power positions and make a bit more first contact.
Has the death mark onto Oda, so things could get interesting in a moment.
Yeah, has it available.
Flicks to it.
It's also the Sens now chosen by GG. We saw the Sens ban earlier on in the first half, if you recall, by Gaimin Gladiators against Chiefs. Now they use it themselves.
No mute as well for Chiefs could make this quite difficult for the likes of Oda to contest that. I mean, where do you run if you get tagged in Jan? You could be in trouble.
Might be forced to use a couple of those gas babes in a more of a defensive manner. For yourself personally, that's a wonderful angle found from Brendo. It really highlights the night that Jigsaw's having so far. Creed's now with the death mark as well.
Ooh, we can see the battle.
And now the push is coming as well with the ROUs.
Well, plan to go down in the meantime. Creeds does find that kill. 5v4.
And is there anyone that's able to now deny this? Without that smoke, no gas babes to push off of that plant. Leighton successful into CEO. Chiefs trying to fight back now through Josh. They are so low on health, and it is a successful plant for GG. Jigsaw, though, after getting down earlier towards Long Desk, he's back up and he's back in the server. The kill onto Brendo. 3v3, full white. Quiz on the flank, and he'll catch one as Leighton will fall. Does he know there's one in Archives? That's where Creeds is lurking. Pulls out that Vendetta. Shuts down Quiz and Jigsaw in the 1v2, but so low on health and maybe just forced to stick. But on the outside rappel is Wettables.
Nothing he can do.
Nothing he could do.
Big from GG. I mean, really good set play. Sense for coverage. We had the pressure below from the Deimos, so Oda was nullified, forced to battle that player below. The chaos elsewhere going the way of GG. And then that site, especially on Siege X, not that it really got to that point, but very difficult to retake with the jump out mechanic now nerfed for defense. Tough there for Chiefs, but a well executed round from GG.
And their first one as well on the attack.
Bombs from being defused by attackers.
Open area for the third defensive round for Chiefs. Final round before we get additional bans in play.
Yeah, what are we thinking here in terms of...
Deimos and defense is a bit more open. I mean, maybe the clash because of the basement threat, but I guess maybe you forfeit that round anyway naturally as attack, so it's a bit more open.
Not really in a position to be forfeiting too many more rounds, though.
Not necessarily. Especially if Chiefs win this, then obviously you have to 100% be locking in to try and win basement, right?
10 seconds to
Not to say you'd be looking to forfeit into an OT, but
No.
more so just prioring bans for basement is often not the play.
You
But
do also have to remember that Chiefs have got double defense OT.
attackers
So if you are to think we may
Rather
end up
than-
in an
yeah.
OT position and those bans are going to come back around,
yeah, you got no option.
I think you do ban the Clash here, and I think you do ban the Deimos here after this round. We'll see if that does eventuate. So far, been a good game for Brendo. He goes to 8 kills, top of kill leader mark for Gaimin Gladiators. In fact, inside of the server, this is tied with Josh, Quiz, and Oda. No one above 8 kills in this match so far through 8 rounds played.
Jigsaw Pulse Archives looking to counteract the likely play from Leighton, who will get control CEO and open up across with the Skeleton Key. Oddly enough, joining that currently.
Triple Nitro available in this round as well for Chiefs.
This round could be over before it begins really for GG, especially on attack if those Nitros are to be successful.
Creeds is going to have big influence here, playing that Nook eventually when he makes his way into the building. Needs to be the nuisance, find a couple of picks.
Oh, he's lurking lobby at the moment. Should be able to avoid information gathering tools.
Setting up, it's activated.
Croxon looking to join in alone, okay.
I think they want to deal with this castle barricade first. You can see the apprehension though here from Gaimin Gladiators in terms of the setup that we've
Oh, yellow
clearly
ping.
seen here by Chiefs. Now that's a tucked in right corner yellow ping. Brendo.
Jigsaw doesn't get out of this alive. If he crosses, Brendo's sharp enough to land those shots. But Jigsaw seemingly has a read of his own.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't Brendo, but Weddable's also holding the line. Good work there from GG.
Good teamwork.
Yep.
Really, really good teamwork. And they get the opening kill. Jigsaw again just unable to really get involved here on Bank. Gives the slight advantage over the Gaimin Gladiators with a minute remaining in the round. Still not a foregone conclusion by any means. A lot more work still to be done. But it feels like they're setting up once again for a rather quick hit in towards the site. They prep, and then they just go, and they're so fast and they're so clinical.
It's tech spot main. The remaining 3 defenders, though, on site for Chiefs.
And Tex, is he aware that Creeds is already playing a rather close position inside of Towers? If Tex makes his way back up these stairs, he could be walking straight into the sightlines of that Nook. He does seem at least wary that this position is quite vulnerable, but he allows the cross of Creeds through
Team kill.
beakers, and Creeds did at least get the kill onto Josh, but it's Croxon that then takes him down. I think while they both tried to battle together, and it's come back to bite GG, because Quiz and Oda combine, and in the end, the Chiefs take the round, and with that match point has now been secured here on Bank.
And it puts GG now in a very difficult position. More than likely, will be forced to win an attack on basement. Difficult at the best of times, certainly not impossible. And then they'll require an additional 2 to push overtime into double attack. So the odds are stacked against GG here. Chiefs have done a really nice job in just locking down these objectives, generally speaking, so far defensively. Clash as expected. Capital, though, to follow for attack. We mentioned that it would probably be a little bit more open. Brendo did play the cap back on that previous unsuccessful attempt for GG. He got the opening kill, but it wasn't converted.
Well, I mean, you say it's difficult to probably win one on basement. I don't know if it's going to be much easier to win 3 in a row in general. Doesn't matter really what the sites are right now.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
Also the order of the
attackers.
demise, potentially. Will it be this round, or would it have been at the end?
I mean, I guess if they do win this round, then it might set them up. But if Gaimin Gladiators win this round, do you even think about a double attempt of basement here on defense? I feel like it's almost like a bygone era. Back in the day, it almost used to just be rudimentary. Like the more staple defensive sites on particular maps, if you lost it, you think, okay, we just go straight back, fix up what went wrong. But in the modern era of Siege, teams are very reluctant to go back to the same sites.
10 seconds to go.
Well, GG unsuccessfully defending this site round 4. Immediately second floor found success, so I think it's kind of just the modern meta at the moment to try and continually switch things up and try to remain as unpredictable as possible. That being said, with attacker repick, I don't think site choice is as impactful as maybe it once was. I guess with the ban phase now it could be, but we're already past that additional phase heading into round 10.
Quiz, by the way, has been statistically the best player inside of the server through both maps. Big highlight from him. Croxon not too far behind. It's actually also been Oda, that's the second highest rated player for Chiefs.
Oh boy, okay. I was going to say, that looked very dangerous through the outline there for a moment. Jigsaw back to Croxon. Croxon could still win this kill. Death mark, Croxon to react. Oh, the timing. The timing was so close.
I think he thought he was maybe more Beeper's side rather than bot main stairs side. The way that he swung that.
Big for Chiefs as well. 3 Zoto canisters for Jigsaw and a Nitro Cell.
A little footsie battle here. Creeds. Does he go for the shot? He does, and gets the kill on to Tex.
That's rough.
Not much Tex can do to react to that one. Some sharp shooting from Creeds gives GG the opening kill in this round. But it is also against an operator that's already done their job for this round in the Goyo, so they don't really take much off the board outside of just now having the numbers advantage.
Cool. I like this double setup from Josh to counter hard breach util on that default wall.
Got rid of one of the clutch drones as well from Creeds. But it's also going to be the second clutch drone that's looking to get rid of these Maestro
nice
Evil
from
Eyes.
Creeds.
He gets both of them as well and opens up this position now through server into CCTV that still need to be dealt with the Vulcan canisters.
Would have been massive if he could hack the last and counteract the utility himself, but not to be. Zoto canister now effective. Default wall. Just to stall out a little bit more time. Jigger in that hallway currently.
Still all 3 Vulcan canisters.
I don't think default
Still
is viable.
The smoke available in Oda, who's got all 3 canisters. This is going to have to be one elsewhere for Gaimin Gladiators. This cannot be a default hit round win. They need another avenue.
And Wet's used both of his frag grenades, so they can't rely on that utility.
And it's looking like bot main stairs is going to be the pressure here. Wettables is going to have to go old school on the Deimos. Forget that support lifestyle, push in, look for these frags. And that's exactly what he does now. And he does find the kill onto Oda. Croxon as well. They combine together and they absolutely overload this site. Forget util. Forget about the set plays. It's walk in, gun up, ready to shoot.
No diffuser though.
No diffuser.
Hold on.
Jigsaw.
Hold on.
No, he doesn't expect the second. Thought about the back push behind instead. But he was cooking for a hot minute there. But a round well-deservedly won by Gaimin Gladiators and now put to the test. The Chiefs go for a repeat or move upstairs. Still have a timeout available.
I see what you're pointing at, Jake.
The replay screen?
B for basement.
B for basement.
A good opening pick from Creeds and then the flood from GG, identifying that default not to play. Jigsaw dropped the diffuser and I think maybe realized at the end there that without the planet going down, it was likely to be that he dropped it from the gold pick, but unable to find himself in a position to make that 1v3 achievable.
Well, here we go. You said it would be difficult to win basement as attack for GG. That was going to be their first element, and they've done it. They're going to do it again.
Look at the lineup. Chank, Goyo,
They double down on the delay.
Despite losing to the flood, they're going to triple down on area denial. Maybe this time around they will use the Tachanka for rear and focus smoke Goyo for default. That is probably my anticipation.
I wonder if their thought process here is that the combination of the two Barao, the Goyo, and the smoke is enough to lock down server. And then, as you mentioned, the Tachanka stops off any kind of vault rotate, which then means they're more prepared for bot main.
And you throw the Fenrir in for bot main.
Yep.
Jeez. I would not want to be attacking into this. I mean, that being said, right, they do have the Bravo, so that will be at least some tool to deal with that.
The issue of this, though, is if you're Gaimin Gladiators, you think, well, geez, we really kind of didn't do a good job of clearing a lot of this utility. We can do that better. So let's now do that better, a little bit more quicker, efficiently. We know they're playing bunker.
How though? You don't have the Bravo to hack the Maestro. You don't have the Twitch.
Yeah, the Twitch
You've got 4 grenades though.
Is quite intriguing to me.
4 grenades though.
I imagine they'll play this quicker throughout the round.
Jigsaw top floor.
Jigsaw is top floor. Oh my god, and Jigsaw's dead! Why are you top floor as the Tubarao? Unlocks this round massively for Gaimin Gladiators to begin.
and puts pressure on Tex now to make a play. Dropping early, somewhat costly, but he needs to also stay alive.
We
He needs
saw
to
the
value
power
that.
of the two-brow actually in that previous round as well. The Zoda canister stalling out the server room single wall being opened up. And that eventually was the last line of, the last moment where GG kind of went, okay, we can't really go through this. It's not happening. Let's move on, and forced the flood. And a really quick entry as well for Gaimin Gladiators, fully understanding this is just a basement bunker. We can take the site. We can take the map. And straight away, this checklist is now being worked on. Look how thorough and quick they are.
Creed's looking for
Nah, he
information.
lost that one.
At least garners it. 3 gas babes for Oda.
I'm perplexed though by the clutch drone in comparison to the Twitch for a round such as this. So I feel like the Twitch can get so much more value.
Yeah, BBC, Fenrir. In my opinion, mixed. But they're in the driver's seat at the moment, 5v4. Josh still with utility. Shamik launcher, 20 charges. 3 gas babes still for Oda. He has not used them early.
No, and it's for good reason, because you've got the Shamika launcher that you can use first and use it expendedly.
It's another flood though, surely. Laden with diffuser, looking to drop hatch.
Do you go for a preemptive gas babe here? I think you have to. There goes for the more the default style. Oda, the SMG-11 though, up in hand. Headshot onto Leighton. There's that push from bot main. They're more ready for it now. Shotgun up close in the hallway, defended by Oda. Josh though lost his life in a 2v2 now. Brendo and Wet against their former teammate in Oda with 20 seconds remaining. And then Shotgun as he makes it fall. Wet is burning in the lobby. And it is an ace from the Oceanic King to send this to map 3.
What a way to conclude the map. 7-4 Chiefs. Oda is not here to mess around.
An unbelievable circumstance to close out this second map. We didn't anticipate a potential basement repeat. We got it, and it was playing out largely the same until Oda said, no, not again, not on my watch. Shotgun out and used perfectly. Chiefs will take bank. Consulate is now required.
Sipping lemonade from my lemon tree, honey. Let me spill the tea on all these haters all love me. Broke about the killing it, winning at a 2. 당당하게 올라가, see my altitude. 나랑 맞서 싸우면, baby, you would lose. If I wasn't me, I get it, I would hit me too. I can do it better, I can do it faster. 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐, yeah. I can go much longer, I am so much stronger. 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐, yeah. 자신과의 싸움에서 지면 약오르지. 매일매일 일어나서 부터 보는 거지. Look in the mirror, say you're a winner. 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. In a bad mood 바꿔버려 in a hurry 꿀꿀한 기분 털어버려 I don't worry Get through the weather feeling get better 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. I can do it better I can do it faster 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. I can go much longer I am so much stronger 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah.
Banger after banger, tell 'em Tina, me not do it better. Banger after banger, tell me who could even do that better. Banger after banger. Banger after banger. Banger after banger. Banger after banger. Tina, me not do it better. Who could even do this better?
I can do it better I can do it faster 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah. I can go much longer I am so much stronger 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐 yeah.
Banger after banger. Banger after banger. Banger after banger.
주문을 걸어봐 yeah. 처음 본 순간부터 눈을 뗄 수가 없었어 이 세상 하나뿐인 너 처음 봤으니까 빠졌으니까 Then you got me sinking low 사랑이란 단어로 썸도 아닌 썸을 타며 행복한 줄로 친구들이 다들 바보래 사랑 표현 못한 벙어리 한 번도 안 해봐서 어떡해 honestly Cause 1, 2, 3 중요한 건 you and me 내 곁에만이 있다면 Baby can't you see 자꾸 쳐다보면 뭐해 말이라도 걸어봐 속마음을 표현해 I know it's gonna be alright 손이라도 잡을까 봄에 안겨볼까 Whatever your love language I know it's gonna be alright Can't take all this hot and cold Love shouldn't be this hard no 뭐라고 있는지도 모르겠잖아 어렵지 않아 무슨 생각한지도 정말 진심인지도 Guess like I've never guessed before 나 좋아하는 건 맞아 친구들이 다들 바보래 사랑 표현 못한 벙어리 한 번도 안 해봐서 어떡해 honestly Cause 1, 2, 3 중요한 건 you and me 내 곁에만 있다면 Baby can't you see 자꾸 쳐다보면 뭐해 말이라도 걸어봐 속마음을 표현해 I know it's gonna be alright 손이라도 잡을까 봄에 안겨볼까 Whatever your love language I know it's gonna be alright I know it's gonna be alright 네 앞에서 no way 널 기억하고 맡길 수 없는 걸 Yeah you are the only thing I need I can feel 뭐라고 해도 여기 you and I You're my impossible, like it's a game. Oh, what a way to frame me. I know I shouldn't care, but I'm over it. Maybe it's all in my head, guess it's time for something new. I'm not even famous, but all you blame it on some lame excuse. Maybe it's all in my head, guess it's time for something new. I needed new friends when you didn't show. Poured out my heart while you say oh. And I tell you something, it broke my confidence. When these sides are toxic, it's darkness. Only showing up when it's convenient. Why is no one here to save me? Moving pieces cross the board like it's a game. Oh, what a way to frame me. I know I shouldn't care, but I'm over it. Maybe it's all in my head, guess it's time for something new. I'm not even famous, but all you blame it on some lame excuse. Maybe it's all in my head, guess it's time for something. I've been thinking, 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 I've been thinking about you. 아무리 고개 흔들어도 난 네 생각만 하고 있을 뿐. 아무리 딴짓해봐도 난 너의 목소리만 들릴 뿐. 있으면 내 here with me. 그대 심장이면 please for me. 빨리 고백해볼까? 눈 감고 말해볼까? 미치겠어 only you. 이런 건 처음이야. 너무 슬리잖아. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about you, boy. Yeah. All I think about is you, boy. All I think about is yeah. All I think about is you, boy. All I think about is 내 맘에는 사람 손들어 하얀 우리 눈엔 완벽한 lover. 내 맘에는 사람 손들어 하얀 우리 눈엔 완벽한 lover. 다가가도 괜찮겠지? 다른 애들보다 내가 훨씬 단단하게 걸어가면 다들 속닥 My confidence is shooting through the roof. 아무리 고개 흔들어도 난 네 생각만 하고 있을 뿐. 아무리 딴짓해봐도 난 너의 목소리만 들릴 뿐. 있으면 내 here with me. 그대 심장이면 please for me. 빨리 고백해볼까? 눈 감고 말해볼까? 미치겠어 only you. 이런 건 처음이야. 너무 슬리잖아. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about you, boy. Yeah. All I think about is you, boy.
Well, good morning to our East Coast Americans as they're waking up here bright and early on what would be a lovely Friday morning. Good afternoon, of course, over in Europe, and well, good night here in the APAC region as we're nearing on 11:15. But we've got our final map of the day, Gaimin Gladiators versus Chiefs, which has gone the distance. 7-4, 7-4, a series that I think we've seen both strengths from both teams, and it hasn't really been a lot of negatives either. It's been a really, really good brand of siege from two of the heavy hitters within the Oceanic region. You lose this game, guys, you drop down to the lower bracket, you go and take on Circular Spheres next week. Guess what? On that same day, you then play again, which would end up being most likely against Ludovica, fair to say, as they take on TSG. So you'll have to go through two teams that, if I'm going to be honest, like Circular Spheres and Ludovica, they're not gimme games. Like, you're going to have to be switched on. There's good players on both of those rosters. So those are two games that you're going to have to play next week, which I'm trying to see if I can get the actual timer, but it's for some reason not showing up. Here we go, 6:14, so you get a 5-hour break. So you got to play, wait, play.
Extended break, yeah. Okay.
And it's going to be a long day. So you don't really want to lose this.
I wonder if you would prefer the extended break or the 1 hour.
Probably the extended break. But even then, yeah, I mean, it's like then
You've got to kind of like, you don't want to completely switch off because then it's
like
difficult
a
to
9-hour day or something.
Yeah.
So if you lose this, if you win, by the way, you go, of course, to the upper bracket final. You'll take on Enterprise next week. It'll be a far easy day. You just play the 1 best of 3. And if you win, you're into the grand final. So there's a lot on this map.
Consulate, of course. Creed's potential spawn peak now kind of trapped inside a Visa. Drone early catches Oda. And the player in the backline on drone unable to trade. And for the audio-only listeners out there, Monty, Blackbeard, Mute, and Clash are the operators to take no further part on Cons.
It's been the only weakness of Oda so far in the series, 1 and 5 now on entries. But he's actually statistically the best EPS player in the server through 2 maps played. He's been really exceptional tonight.
Probably bolstered by the 5K to close things on Bank.
Well, that helps. That certainly does help. It pads the stats, but it also wins the map, and that's the main thing. But he does start with an entry loss. Creeds will take that opening kill. Still waiting for Jigsaw to activate. Could this be his time, this map of Consulate?
Yeah, he's been very quiet. Very, very quiet. Top rated in the league, and I believe bottom rated in this match so far for the server.
No longer bottom rated, no. But at one point, I think he was.
Okay.
Creeds,
timing.
Nitro onto the blitz as soon as it enters. And timing indeed goes the way of Gaimin Gladiators, and a really good way to start their defense on Consulate. Quiz makes his way in through copy. Here's one close to the right. Still got to be wary of Brenda over towards managers as well. He is very much wary of it, but so far it's an absolute onslaught from Gaimin Gladiators. No response whatsoever by the Chiefs in this opening round attack as Jigsaw finds himself by himself.
Unable to fight for really any map control at all in this opening round.
And he can't even find a kill. Flawless for the Gaimin Gladiators. That's a really good way to kickstart the final map in this series.
Yep.
They would have been a little bit disappointed that it got closed out on Bank in the fashion that it did. Essentially a 2 versus 1 that went the way of the 1 in Oda. And a good start defensively. We've seen a lot of Consulate, by the way, in the Oceanic region so far. This will be the 7th time played, if you're including group stage now, of course, playoffs. And so far, it's been in favor of defense, 52.7%. It's fine margins.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
It's actually, statistically, guys, the most neutral map in the Oceanic region.
Really?
55 rounds
Discover the location of a bomb.
and only 5% between attack and defense.
Just having a very quick look back to see if either of these two actually played it in the group stage. And most recently, at least for Chiefs, it was a 6-8 loss to, can you guess who?
Gaimin Gladiators?
CS.
Wow, that would have been, was that early on? Or like
June
that,
17 played a 3.
Yeah, that mid period where they kind of went on that 3-game losing streak, if I'm correct.
And for GG, provided I have correctly analyzed, it is their first appearance here on Cons. And again, like we saw in Chalet, they can cook up ideas, especially on attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good first round. So Chiefs yet to get a kill on the board after that flawless from Gaimin Gladiators. Did so courtesy of Croxon and Creeds, which that's a concern. If those two are going to get firing, that's a lot of firepower that, you know, even Croxon tonight hasn't really been at his ultra best. You know, 2nd best player in the region statistically. Creeds has also been a top 4 player in the region statistically. But when you kind of look at the numbers so far tonight, it's Brendo that's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Early Nitro expired and Layden holding his in hand, so pre-ripped in Garage. maybe waiting for pressure over towards the breach, but Chiefs spearheading the attack from up above, looking to vert across. Won't find much of a challenge, at least on the second floor, but Croxon does challenge from below, finds the kill onto Josh, and it's already his 4th in round number 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's a concern for Chiefs.
Is this a case of Croxon switches on and maybe Jigsaw still has struggle?
I mean, I said in the opening map, right, that this could end up being the kind of series where it's like not necessarily straight up Jigsaw versus Croxon battle.
Yeah, of course.
And as it ended up kind of turning out, it was like maybe who's the first one to switch on. Well, Croxon is firing here on the final map of this series, and so far no response at all from Chiefs, from anyone. 2 rounds in a row, the opening kill has gone the way for Gaimin Gladiators, and Croxon is looking very, very comfortable here on Consulate.
Layden again, Nitro in hand early.
Pushed out of position though. I mean, that's one thing that I thought Chiefs did really well back on Bank was their patience play. And you can clearly tell in the opening 2 rounds they want to play in a similar fashion here on Consulate. All right, it's going to open up main breach. They've got the vert pressure. They'll have the smokes available to go for that plant. So far, it's all pushed back now for GG.
Brondo still playing Pillow. Frag grenade to dislodge. Can somebody collect the kill? Yes,
Nice
Quiz. Able to find the shot.
And that's the closest contact to main breach dealt with as well. 25 seconds. So the smokes will go out from Oda. Once that happens, they have to get the plant down.
And they have a scan as well. Wettables under pressure. BPC still available.
Can they get a back push though? Oda still now puts the smokes out, but goes down immediately. It's a big loss there for Chiefs. No one now can stick this plant, and losing players on the rotate back up above here for Gaimin Gladiators. That was exquisite. As soon as those smokes popped, GG said, this is our moment to strike because they want to go for this set execute. It's a 2-0 start for Gaimin Gladiators.
So 2 rounds played, and GG have a stranglehold on Consulate. Chiefs, concerned, will call their tactical timeout early. Try and snatch a round in preparation for the additional ban. Probably the correct decision, considering how one-sided this particular map has transpired. Number 1 task, shut down Croxon. Then they can try and set up for these executes, maybe a little bit better positioned with a little bit more forgiving timing.
Yeah,
so in
it's
the
so
last
hard
round,
to
double flank.
shut down a single player, especially someone like Croxon who's going to use that map advantage. He'll hide, he'll be a nuisance. You can't spend a lot of time focusing on one individual.
Then you have to enable your individuals.
Exactly. 1 kill through 2 rounds.
And it's not even just highlighting Jig. Like, you have Quiz and Josh as well, who have already proven today.
Both have played well.
You enable them, they will provide kills.
I mean, look, one of the biggest concerns is now so far through the maps played is the entry battle is not a single player for GG is negative on entries. They're either +0 or they're obviously positive. We'll get a rehost here due to a HUD bug. Hopefully it won't take too long to get this back up and running. Of course, players leaving quickly so they can get back in quickly. Just stalls us out a little bit longer here. So 2-0 in favor of Gaimin Gladiators. The early tactical timeout now into the rehost. Honestly, it bodes probably quite well for Chiefs in terms of the ability to just stall out some of this perceived momentum that we've got early on from Gaimin Gladiators. They've absolutely come out of the gates hot into a timeout, into a rehost. That does squash that a little bit, even if it's minuscule.
Yeah, somewhat. I'm not fully across protocol at the moment for online players to if the teams can communicate and at what level. I would presume no, because that would be a pretty clear advantage. But we have gotten the call that a rehost is required, and with that, Jake...
It might be a lengthy one.
Yeah, it could be.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to go to a break, but when we come back, straight into this final map once again.
can do it better. I can do it faster. 내리에서 들게 주문을 걸어봐. Yeah. I can go much longer. I am so much stronger. 내리에서 들게 주문을 걸어봐. Yeah. They provide me shade and I really thrive on it. 오늘도 역시 그냥 기분이 sunny. Sipping lemonade from my lemon tree honey. Let me spill the tea on all these haters all love me. 누가 봐도 killing it. Winning attitude. 당당하게 올라가, see my altitude. 나랑 맞서 싸우면 baby you would lose. If I wasn't me, I get it, I would hit me too. I can do it better. I can do it faster. 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐. Yeah. I can go much longer. I am so much stronger. 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐. Yeah. 자신과의 싸움에서 지면 야구르지. 매일매일 일어나서부터 보는 거지. Look in the mirror, say you're a winner. 주문을 걸어봐. Yeah. In a bad mood, 바꿔버려 in a hurry. 꿀꿀한 기분 털어버려, I don't worry. Get through the weather, feeling get better. 주문을 걸어봐. Yeah. I can do it better. I can do it faster. 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐. Yeah. I can go much longer. I am so much stronger. 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐. Yeah.
Banger after banger, tell 'em Tina, me not do it better. Banger after banger, tell me who could even do that better. Banger after banger. Banger after banger. Banger after banger. Banger after banger. Tina, me not do it better. Who could even do this better?
I can do it better. I can do it faster. 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐. Yeah. I can go much longer. I am so much stronger. 내리에 스며들게 주문을 걸어봐. Yeah.
Banger after banger. Banger after banger. Banger after banger.
주문을 걸어봐. Yeah. 처음 본 순간부터 눈을 뗄 수가 없었어. 이 세상 하나뿐인 너 처음 봤으니까 빠졌으니까 Then you got me sinking low. 사랑이란 단어로 섬도 아닌 섬을 타면 행복한 줄로 친구들이 다들 바보래. 사랑 표현 못한 벙어리 한 번도 안 해봐서 어떡해 honestly. Cause 1, 2, 3 중요한 건 you and me. 내 곁에만 있다면 Baby can't you see. 자꾸 쳐다보면 뭐해 말이라도 걸어봐. 속마음을 표현해. I know it's gonna be alright. 손이라도 잡을까 몸에 안겨볼까. Whatever your love language, I know it's gonna be alright. 네 앞에서 no way 널 기억하고 맡길 수 없는 걸 Yeah, you are the only thing I need I can feel 뭐라고 해도 여기 you and I You're my world 모두 다 스쳐갔잖아
So we've returned to Consulate here for the third and final map of this series, Gaimin Gladiators with a 2-0 lead. And it was also a tactical timeout taken by Chiefs just prior to the tech pause / rehost. So it's been an extended break, and it certainly does quell the momentum for Gaimin Gladiators. I don't think it'll cause them too much issue though with a 2-0 lead. Good little buffer to begin. And certainly it's been a struggle for Chiefs here to begin on Consulate. They have not really looked likely in any of the 2 rounds played thus far.
Changing mags!
Sorry, just recomposing myself a little bit. Was like the
Did
extended pause.
you start to doze off a little bit?
No, I'm not disassociating just yet. It's still technically Friday for 25 minutes longer.
I went out and saw James Stevmar Stewart on the couch. He's ready for bed.
Oh, is it? Well, he's going to have fun tomorrow in Asia when we finish at 5 a.m. To reiterate, it is the Blackbeard, the Monty, Clash, and Mute Band out. Fortunately, the rehost has led to those no longer being available visual, and I will kindly remind those in future. Hopefully, it might resolve after the additional ban post this round. We'll see.
No, I don't think it does. From memory, it just adds in the midway
file,
ban,
yeah,
and that's it. And it just leaves it as that one ban.
That's okay.
The good news for Chiefs, though, is that when they check the scoreboard and they're tabbing, they don't have to see that they're all essentially on 0 kills outside of Josh, who's got 1.
Yeah. It's been rough for Chiefs. GG dominating so far. Chiefs calling a tactical timeout prior to that tech pause. So they have had an opportunity to chat things over. And now we'll see that plan hopefully translate to action inside of the server in their favor. Otherwise, this does run the risk of running out of momentum.
Yeah, another
Creed's
one.
on the quiz.
Yeah, add that one to the 3 lists now of opening kills in favor of Gaimin Gladiators. I mean, they're just controlling on this defense. So
3 separate lists or just 3 lines on one list?
Oh, well, I mean, it depends on really how you want to put it. You could do either or. Nice fight back there from Jigsaw from top spiral to get rid of Brendo, going for a little peek. And that has been the talking point in this series, is Jigsaw hasn't really been at his ultra best. That's a good kill again from Croxon, who, by the way, I mean, we no longer have the raw stats, obviously due to the rehost.
I think this is his 6th kill.
I'm pretty sure it's like 6-0 or 7-0, one or the other.
I've got almost 15-0, so divided by 3 plus 1, 6.
There you go.
Because our stats are unfortunately a little bit buggy.
A little bit buggy.
I still feel really bad for Goof. I thought I was 0-12 on entry. Well, no, he wasn't. Minute on the clock then. Chiefs trailing. Jigsaw's still up though. Tex on the blitz could be dangerous, but needs to combine with those with rifles.
We saw Tex as well on Bank was really good with the blitz. But you're down a player.
Double nitro,
You're down.
BPCs, Maestro cams. It doesn't look great here. Bulk cams too.
They've already used their tactical timeout and not really wanting to start this final map, down 0-3. Tex has got
Nitro,
himself, though, into
bang.
Towers, a position to plant. Nitrocell goes
Ooh,
off.
no.
Well, has dislodged this position. Flashbang also thrown out. Now going for the flank is Wettables up, server stairs, Oda watching, but Wettables are better in the fight, and he gets the 2nd kill, and that will do enough for the round. The round's over. 3-0 for Gaimin Gladiators. And that break and that momentum break not doing enough for Chiefs. Wettables will find 3 in the round. That will instill a lot of confidence in him.
Consulate can certainly be a dominant map, but this is a slaughter at the moment.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I quite want to say it yet, but I'm almost getting echoes of the EP Ludovico game.
Yeah.
The final map, ultimately the second map, just absolutely petered out and EP ran away 7-0.
It's a little early, but based off of the evidence that we've been provided so far in the opening 3 rounds, it's just been not even a contest. Like, if you think about the opening 2 maps, like, rounds were obviously won, but a lot of the times, if a round was won convincingly, the next round, the opposite team who got dominated usually responded. There certainly were a lot more back and forths in the opening 2 maps. Of course, for those unaware, 7-4 on Chalet to GG, 7-4 to Chiefs on Bank. Both of those first halves as well, might I add, were 4-2 halves. So far, it's not really looking like that's going to be the case here.
So I believe a pause of some sort has been called here.
In fact, Chiefs led both opening halves 4-2 on the opening 2 maps. That can't now happen here on Consulate.
So pause called so that we can get the bans manually done in terms of operators, I believe, heading into round number 4. As we look back at round 3, GG doing their best to hold the line on side, and while ultimately it was successful, we're able to push upstairs. The coverage not great. Nitro cells not necessarily required from GG, nor that information on site with Maestro cams. Just straight guns up, the man advantage that they had fought for earlier.
So Valkyrie and Blitz will be the mid-half bans. I love the little correction.
Thanks for the correction.
Just in case you were unfamiliar. You're like, who's Blitz with an S?
Wettable switch on.
Switch on.
Is that directed at the admins or is that directed at Chiefs?
I mean, it could be both. It honestly could be both. That's some top-tier banter. Not often do you see the players giving it to the admins.
Admin just turns around, Wettable's banned.
Well, I mean, as you said, you could argue that's also a case to Chiefs to switch on. A pretty deplorable opening 3 rounds for what's been a very hotly contested 2 maps prior to this.
So that does mean Monty, Blackbeard, and Blitz off the board, so full shield setup. Leaves just the fuse, mute, clash, Valk for defense.
How do things change now for Chiefs? Do they try and pick the pace up a little bit? I mean, like, we know they've been quite methodical in a lot of their attacking rounds so far in this series, but it's been mixed results, and certainly here it hasn't been good.
A point that I didn't get an opportunity to mention sort of pre-match is that Consulate, especially in direct contrast to like your Chalet and your Banks of the world that we saw earlier, like where do you get that free entry? Where do you get that free lurk? Where do you get that opportunity? You often do have to directly control a portion of the map by fighting from the exterior. It's such a challenge to maneuver inside of the map without any kind of contest. Certainly possible, depending on the timing and positioning, but you kind of need that lurk often to create a bit of pace and a bit of chaos. Maybe that's the play here. Jigsaw could be an Amaru below play, maybe.
Well, I mean, the Amaru here is pretty much for CO.
Go up box hatch, potentially.
I think this is more due diligence to see if there's anyone lurking around yellow stairs, looking for runouts, looking to play the exterior. But so far, this is so good.
He goes up the hatch here, right?
Gridlock Stingers in place towards yellow. Josh is making his way around that area as well. I don't know if you go up this hatch right now. You certainly can't.
I don't think it's the win con. I think it's if I can, I will sort of mentality. Be interesting to see though. Track Stingers for the flank watch to maybe protect Jig a little while longer in case GG go investigating.
Well, if he's going to go up that hatch, it's going to be off the back of a Lion Scan and an Adrenal Surge from Oda.
Here we go. Sound.
Candelas as well. Jigsaw still just holding closet down below in the first floor. Hasn't made his way up, and I don't think he will. Maybe that could just be the red herring. Right now, though, he's just trying to be the nuisance down below, playing essentially like a buck roll.
I mean, clearing that position is good. A little bit more difficult to play between the objectives.
Does Tex go in for the plant off of this? Candela goes out.
He's baiting.
Just a bait on the util, hoping to maybe pull out a Nitrocell, which there are no Nitrocells available in this round. Impacts and smokes will be the biggest deterrents. Quiz will get the opening pick onto Croxon. Quiz has been traded, but the Adrenal Surge gets him back up. Big from Oda. Josh with the kill onto Edibles. Yamaru up in towards CO now. Jigsaw low, so is Quiz, and Jigsaw will go down because of that low health to 2v2. 30 seconds left in the round. Quiz is so low on HP. Needed to get that kill onto Brendo. Now his position known towards yellow. Vault out from Creeds is successful. And Tex in the 1v2 with the smoke in his way, blocking that vision. Does still have the diffuser. May sense an opportunity to get this kit down and maybe then play from the outside. But they start to converge in his location. There's a drop down to play below. Smart from Brendo. And GG make it 4 straight.
Probably one of the more inspired attacks we've seen from Chiefs. Closest to success for sure, but GG still good at the death, under pressure. We saw Jig below laying down fire. We saw the Ying play in an attempt to bait out the smoke utility. Ultimately wasn't that successful. The trade game on site was pretty good from GG, just able to keep pace. Had the 1v2 advantage.
Well, do you want the Xenox fun fact for the day here? Day 1 of the APL playoffs.
I'm ready. It better be a good one.
If Chiefs lose this game, they play CS. Fun fact of the day, they lost to CS in the group stage, right?
Not a fun fact for them.
That's not what for CS it might be.
Yeah.
I've already spoken at length in terms of how detrimental it really is to lose this. You have to play CS, then one of TSG or Ludovica. Then you have to play the loser of EPGG. It's a gauntlet to run through. I mean, it's really not going to be easy. You have to play 2 best-of-3s next week. The GG sets them up against Enterprise for what could end up foreshadowing the potential grand final matchup.
Pulse in play round 5, hidden by Croxon. Could be a thorn inside of Chiefs. Especially if unsided at this point. Play basement for info.
Do you think it's fair to say Chiefs are more prone, or sorry, more capable of being prone to losing against the CS Ludovica in comparison to GG? Like you can sense like that a CS or a Ludovica could beat a Chiefs on a day. I think it's this could be really, really bad for Chiefs.
Potentially.
I think GG have too much quality and class for those teams.
Yeah, maybe. If one of those teams like a CS do come out firing with gunfights, I think they can maybe find win cons against GG in that regard. Early smokes though here in this round. Jigsaw aggro, Oda lurking, Tex planting, and Wedables, though able to find the first. Inside of the smoke, Creeds, can he deny the plant? He will, shotgun in hand. Jigsaw trades.
Oh, wow.
4 versus 2.
They just have the numbers everywhere, and Wedables is even activated.
I don't know what Chiefs are doing at this point.
At this point, it looks like they just want to go to bed early and wave the white flag. Jigsaw, though, puts it down for a second and says, hang on, this one's not done just yet. He's got 5 kills now since the rehost. And if you actually look at the numbers, this is usually what you kind of sometimes see with Chiefs when things aren't going well. Jigsaw's got 5 kills, everyone else has got 2 combined.
Nitro, dead. Plant going down, Croxon will relay, and Jigsaw left in a 1v3.
It's about to be a 5-0 statement from Gaimin Gladiators in a do-or-die final map of this best-of-3.
Oh, no. That's the last thing you want to run into.
And he's so low on health as well. Minute left, but in a 1v3, as good as Jigsaw is, this, you would imagine, is beyond him. Unless he can pull off something incredible.
Sound cover.
Well, sound cover on the drop gets him back in towards Expo, but the battle won apart from Wedables, who's playing an exquisite game here on Consulate, bringing back the old wet. It's 5-0 for GG. And don't forget, the timeout for Chiefs was taken after that second round, so all of this has been off the back of the tactical timeout into the rehost, into a pause. Nothing is stopping Gaimin Gladiators here in this final map. They have been absolutely perfect here on Consulate. Quite literally, 5-0. Done nothing really wrong whatsoever. Aggressive on the defense, really good plays. We've seen run-outs, we've seen stall-outs. They're doing everything right, and they're doing it as a team as well. I mean, their support player in Wedables is 6-1. Yeah,
I mean, to illustrate the dominance, these were the number of players still alive at the conclusion of each round for GG. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. 4 of those 5 rounds, players got multi-kills, 3Ks, right? You had the Croxon 3K, the Wet 3K, the Brendo 3K, the Wet 3K. Like, they are just all dominating every facet of the game. Each third of the round as well, the early, mid, late round, all going the way of GG. Chiefs have experimented with some ideas, trying to adjust the tempo, some of their lineups even to some extent with a couple of exotic picks as well. It's just nothing is working for them.
In comparison to Bank, it was 2-3, 2-2 in terms of the rounds that they won. So only had 3 players alive in a single round on Bank that they actually won. The other rounds were 2 players left alive. So you can see the contrast in the way they're winning these rounds as you presented. It's an absolute onslaught. And it's a real concern for Chiefs too, that you've kind of gone down this handily. I mean, if you lose a best of 3, that's 7-4, 7-4, and then let's say it finishes like 7-4, 7-5, you're probably not going to stay awake all night thinking, geez, you know, we got absolutely beaten to a pulp. It's sort of like, okay, we play them again next time. There's fine margins. But this is a map that you won't see Consulate again if these two teams play later on in the bracket. Consulate's a ban here for Chiefs now.
Yeah, I don't think... I'm a pretty strong believer in the Chiefs' mental. I don't think it's really that in this match. To me, it just comes across as a strategic diff and execution differential inside of the server at the moment.
Of course, no game of Siege is ever over. If Chiefs do win this round, it becomes 5-1. It could end up being a rather defender-sided Consulate. But I mean, I painted the picture before, guys, based on Consulate and OCE. It's quite literally 50-50. It's the most neutral map that we have in the region. Six times it's been played in the group stage. It's a decent sample size. I think the only map that's been played more is Clubhouse.
So minute 30 in this one then. Josh is the only player inside of the server to take damage. But being established, Jigsaw still has Clutch drones in the server. The pacing slows down. Chiefs not wanting to put a foot wrong, sensing this is really their last lifeline and keeping the match alive. Quiz with red ping. Shots do land, but not enough.
Nothing's hitting. Nothing's working. Those are the kind of kills you'd get back on Bank. That's where Chiefs were finding early picks.
60 seconds. Another fight.
Only one round that Chiefs have found the opening kill, of course, thusly not converting it.
Information now starting to dwindle for the attack. Just the 4 drones. They're actively droning at the moment.
It is the latest stage, though, of this half that Chiefs have had 5v5. Quiz does find another opening kill. That's his second for the half, and that opens up the avenue. The numbers advantage, but the time, it's such a huge factor.
I think Oda's drone that B site, wants to drop, go for the back plant. 20 seconds.
Wettables, there's the response. He goes 7-1 since the rehost, and EDD for good measure as well.
Oh, hold on.
But Jigsaw activates at a time where they certainly need him to do so. The Adrenal Surge from Quiz provides a little bit of a helping hand as Brendo, in the 1v2, knows roughly where this plant should be going down, but can he find the way to deny it? He cannot. The cover from Quiz was good. No match point scenario just yet. It's a 5-1 half in favor of Gaimin Gladiators. Chiefs now go defense and see if they can do it themselves.
Close in the end, and I think the defense did have info there, so Brendo very much would have won that if the first gunfight had gone his way. It would have been a 6-0 half, but not to me. Chiefs finally able to make their presence known on the scoreboard. To reiterate, the first half was Blackbeard, Monty, Clash, and Mute, followed by the Blitz Valk from memory. This time around, though, Mirror, Azami, Blackbeard, and the Blitz. So can the Chiefs reset? Defense, they may find some comfort.
Did we see a 6-2 comeback earlier today?
Yeah, we did, but
we did.
Not quite sure this match has the same makings, but
that was, of course, in reference to the CS Ludovica game on Lair. It was a 5-1 first half as well in that, and 5-2, then 6-2, and then all the way back for Ludovica for what was also map 3 of that series too. Similarities are starting to stack up a little bit, but it was on a very different map. Same side though, defense. There's every world in which Chiefs can be strong on defense, but again, the stats, as I mentioned earlier in the group stage, it was weaker of the two sides in terms of attack and defense.
Attackers are moving to defuse the bomb.
They've been better in that area, though, so far tonight. Oda will be disappointed with this game so far. Of course, he was outstanding coming into Consulate. Kind of like the Oda of old.
So heavy influence of information gathering here from attack. You have the Deimos line combination most notably, and then both the Dokkaebi and the Bravo, which can deny other means of gaining info. At BPC, especially inside of console. Brendo with a free lurk below, and this could be dangerous. And pressure those in positions to potentially deny plant. Nitro from Josh, Smoke Babes from Tex, depending on his location. Creed's meanwhile working his way, chipping away at default cams. Josh is probably the player most under threat here. He'll be wanting to Nitro that first plant attempt, but if he gets pressured by Brendo, that'll be a challenge.
I think it'll be really important here for Chiefs to really make first contact, be the aggressors. Don't want to be on the back foot. You're down 5-1. You want to try and be the team here that's looking to be aggressive. And that's what we saw from Gaimin Gladiators in that first half. They made it really difficult for Chiefs to attack because GG themselves were on the front foot at all times.
Quiz may be posturing for a run out here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. I think you want to go for these high-impact plays. But I don't sense he's going to find anything here on this run out.
Just a fraction too late.
But it's also information. No one on the rappel. Sometimes you don't find anything, but with that, you actually gain something in terms of knowledge anyway. Wetting towards bathroom, and he's got a good read, and he's got a free kill onto a Tex who had no idea. The bathroom controller had already been established, and Wettables is starting to get back to his roots, and that's entries, and that's frags. Gets the 2, but Leighton then falls behind. But with Croxton killing out Jigsaw, it's looking like 6-1 is very much on the cards as Quiz now finds himself in the 1 versus 3. Certainly with little chance. Full white. And again, it was GG that won. They were the ones that just hit that switch. And Chiefs weren't ready for it. And now tucked in towards CEO, Brendo can go for the default plant and nothing Quiz can do to stop it. And with that plant down, as we know, on this side, on this map, you are not retaking it, especially in a 1v3. This round is done, and it's going to be 6-1 to Gaimin Gladiators. Formalities to close this one out, though.
And the death mark for good measure. GG posing many questions in this map of Cons and Chiefs, scrambling for answers. Everything they try.
Who do you get on the interview here for GG tonight? Is it Titan? Is it Wettables? Is it...
I reckon Wet.
Do you get one of the new boys in?
Surely Wet's down for a bit of a chat. He can talk about how well Oda played today.
I can't wait for Rob to chat with the old Wettables. I tell you what, though, Wet has been sensational in this game tonight. He's definitely felt the pressure of playing in a new role throughout the group stage. You could see it firsthand for those who watched the OCE group stage. It took a bit of gelling time.
Yeah, for sure.
If you recall back to that 7-1 loss to Enterprise on Clubhouse, they got slaughtered. And it was on Defense Club. You could tell they were really struggling with the coordination and some of the communication, new roles. But you forgive that. It's group stage. You're adjusting. And you're starting to now see the benefits of learning and growing. And now starting to see the fruits of that labor. And Wettables being given a little bit more of that license to just say, hey, you can be a support player that frags. You can do both. It's not like you have to go hard support. And I think being freed of any kind of IGL responsibilities as well has seen him really benefit from that. And for Chiefs, it's back to the drawing board. I mean, as good as they've been tonight, they were competitive on Chalet. They won out on Bank and looked really good. They'll be very disappointed with this result on this map.
But they'll learn from it, I think, which is the most critical portion. Yes, it does put them with a rather unfavorable fixture, but losing here is not, of course, the end of the world. They have that second chance.
Don't forget as well, it's not just finishing first and you get the invitation to EWC, but the SI points up for grabs. It's a massive discrepancy. 300 for first, 150 then for second, so that's a whopping 50%. Then down to 50 for third and fourth and nothing beyond that.
Stage points as well, relevant for regional finals.
And that's not even including just money, the raw monetary aspect, but if you want to make the 6 Invitational, you need to be banking up those points. course, there are a multitude of avenues.
Points not the exclusive
No.
qualification this time around.
This game's not done, but it's hard to sort of envision where it's going to change for Chiefs to win suddenly then 5 rounds straight. Usually for that to happen, it essentially has to be both Chiefs playing somehow above the level we've seen, but also GG to kind of capitulate and suddenly, you know, fall out of... Oh, hang on. That's a capitulation. That's kit. That's control. That might just extend this match a little longer.
He hasn't had too many bad plays or questionable
No.
moments today, Croxton, but that probably goes down as one. Just a bit of a misread.
Talking about a free delivery there for Tex. It's like, oh, boys, I got kit. Josh, and this might just end up being the kind of round GG just go, whatever, just send it in. We'll get him in the next one.
Yeah, definitely a foot off the pedal kind of moment.
Always a good lesson, though, and a good reminder. You've got to stay locked in. Whether you're 6-1 up or you're 1-6 down, treat every round as if it's 0-0. I think the old wise head Digital used to say he never looked at the scoreboard.
Yeah. Is that because of his own stats or
Maybe.
because of the score?
Yeah, I mean, this round's just one of those ones where once you lose Croxton in that way, with the kit in that way, you just kind of start going into the motions of almost ranked mode where you just think, oh, I'm just going to walk in. If I kill someone, great. If not, well, the round's pretty much done. Move on to the next one, 6-2 to Chiefs. Saying that, you can only afford a couple of those.
You have to be a little bit cautious, for sure.
You know, it can sneak up on you. Suddenly 6-1, 6-4, and you're taking a timeout.
Well, they're going Expo next, win this, then expected to win second floor. I know they didn't last time, but expected to win that. 6-4, it's a little bit more threatening. Still relying on another
You'll definitely see
rotation,
a timeout at 6-4 if it gets there. If it gets there, there's an immediate timeout. And then at that point, if you're Chiefs, it's like, boys, 2 more rounds. You're in 6-4.
Still there. Very much the glass. Not even half full. It's about 99% full take.
It's the thing is, they got an absolute freebie there. Absolute freebie.
Yeah.
They
The only free round they've got.
they did not have to fight for that round at all. In saying that, I mean, it's like, you're still got to win the round. You still got to hit your shots. It's not a given just because you get the opening kill in that fashion with the kit in that way. So good round for Chiefs. Jigsaw able to crack double digits, which I'm pretty certain he didn't have any kills prior to the rehost because it was 2-0. And at that point, Chiefs had like 1 kill on the whole team.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
it wasn't Jigsaw.
entirely sure.
So he's definitely responded here on the final map, but it's also coincided with like, oh, Jigsaw's back, guys, but we've all also gone on vacation. Our work is done.
He's come back to the office, but it's Christmas time.
Yeah. They've clocked off early. They got their map win.
Still, though, it shows that Jigsaw, he's still there somewhere.
Yeah. This is where GG just have to lock in. Yeah, back to work now. Okay, you had the foot off the pedal in the previous round. A little bit of an oopsie. That's fine, but lock back into that real championship mentality where you just want to
Win every round.
Win every single round.
Bravo's been really big in this game as well for GG, not only in countering direct util, but default cams as well. We saw that back on the top floor attack. And this time around, again, another wealth of util potentially at threat here. Brendo back on that clutch momentarily, maybe looking for some F-Not mines or the double BPC, as I say. Don't know if the second has been found. But that's just going to wither away at the information gathering for the defense and probably the confidence as well for Chiefs, who haven't looked that comfortable making heads-up plays here on cons.
A little creep up towards Spiral for Croxton on the Dockerby. Logic Bomb available.
He loves lurking in this position.
Yeah.
I feel like we've watched it several times thus far.
That was a good lurk, the old Croxton. And while it feels like it's been a slow burn for him tonight, he has ended up with the highest EPS in the lobby.
Yep.
Without the classic sense of total dominance and dropping a 15 to 20 bomb kind of game. He's just been slowly chipping away at it, which is a really good sign of maturity. He can do it in different ways. Tax losing his life early, not ideal. There goes the gas canisters. Logic Bomb does ring out from Croxton. 60 seconds left. Already has another one ready to go.
Ode is under so much pressure. And 0-5 since the rehost.
Double Logic Bomb activated. Now the push to come through from Leighton to see if he can scout out any information. Oda through Expo. Does hit the headshot. Full white. Needs to fall back. Can't do so quick enough. Brendo sharp with the shot. And this might be the go time now for GG to get the plant down inside of Expo. Jigsaw, though, activates again. As he's got a bit of a cover through from Creeds. Josh is not going to try and deny this plant, and it will be successful. And Brendo now gun up and ready for the close angle fight. The smoke blocks that vision, comes out the left side of it, takes out Josh. Jigsaw very low, Quiz taking the battle. Brendo will fall, and suddenly 2v1 as it's only Quiz remaining. After Jigsaw got dispatched by Croxon, surely this one's done unless Quiz can find a way to just stick this plant and maybe just hold it as the whole way through. No, forced off, bodies around. 17 seconds, gets back on it, but surely he'll be falling off it. Headshot onto Creeds in a 1v1 with 10 seconds. Red ping intel. Needs to stick this plant though, and he can no longer get off of it. He does, and Croxon hits the headshot. And Gaimin Gladiators will move on to the upper bracket final in the Oceania League here by APL and send their rivals in Chiefs down to the lower bracket.
Wettable says, lol. Definitely something in this for both teams. Long-standing drama. GG better though on cons and able to close it out.
Yeah, better absolutely on console. Like, not a lot separating, I think, in the opening two maps, and overall it ends up being a 2-1 victory for Gaimin Gladiators. I wouldn't be surprised if we see these two play each other again at some point. It almost feels like it's a given, but with Enterprise playing the way they are playing, and we get the rematch as well between EP and GG next week. Of course, Enterprise winning 7-1 in the group stage. That's going to be a fascinating upper bracket final. For Chiefs, they'll be taking on Circular Spheres. And, well, they've got a massive gauntlet to run next week. That's it, though, for these games today. Let's go over to the couch and let's close up shop.
Yeah, a good game from GG, all things considered. Consulate looks very under wraps for them, Dev. It's very difficult to sit here and say that Chiefs had a leg in that one. Look, might have been some competitive rounds, but really not many.
Oh, 5-0 start really makes a big statement there for GG. Obviously, it was a long and arduous series, and Chiefs did have their moment on Bank, but I've been really impressed by GG this series. I did think that this would be a tight matchup, but as I said in the pre-show, I really thought that Chiefs had this one. I know that they haven't been in peak form at the moment, but we've seen Josh start to fit in a little bit better with the team. GG, though, it seems like they are back to their old form. For me, the big reason why I went with Chiefs coming into it was the fact that I felt like there was just something about this rivalry that gave Chiefs an edge.
Yep.
It's been 4 matches in a row, 4 series in a row that these teams have faced off that Chiefs has won. It's been 278 days since GG has beat Chiefs through all of those encounters. Finally, they've dispelled that curse. I feel like this is a pretty big new era for GG, and huge ups to them. They've finally made this team really click. And yeah, they're up to the upper bracket final now.
Pengu, what's your takeaway from this game? Because, again, although it was close, there were still some pretty significant moments in there.
Yeah, I want to say like both teams really had their moments to shine and do well. We saw some huge clutches from Chiefs on Bank. I mean, that final round from Oda, the ace, the shotgun, the whole thing. Watching the game, I felt like GG was the more proactive team. They always looked to me like they had a plan, a play, something brewing on the map on both attack, but specifically on defense, whereas Chiefs are more reactive. They see what happens to them, then they make a lash out play or they make a turtle play. And I think being proactive is always going to get you that slight edge over your opponent. And I think that's kind of what got GG there at the end.
Well, it is time for us to welcome in Wettables for the first time, at least for me, this stage. My friend, wonderful to see you. How are you feeling after, I guess you'd be pretty happy about that win?
Oh, no, we're gutted from that win. Like, we you know what I mean? So upset, going home depressed and shit, you know what I mean?
What's the lol in chat at the end then?
Oh, just because they shit talk and just lose, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want?
You have to.
Look, we were saying, I'm not sure if you could hear us while you were getting ready for the interview. But,
oh, I heard you. Don't worry about that.
Like, dude, it's been a long time. Like, this has been a long time coming. Obviously, you guys were kind of made the villains last year, which I know you don't love. Like, and you're still, like, mates with these people on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Now, I spoke to you recently after your game against Oda when you lost in the regular season. Now, this is the game that matters, right? And you actually beat him this time. you expecting it to be like this? Specifically, the third map looked very comfortable. Overall, like this did feel like a very GG-sided series, even though it was a 2-1. And personally, that surprised me. Is that what you were expecting out of Chiefs, having seen what things went down in the regular stage?
Oh, well, like I said to you, like, you know, we were already locked in top 2, so going to Clubhouse, a map we've shown everything, like, just play it, right? If we lose, we don't drop out of top 2, we win. Who the fuck cares, really? You know what I mean? So we went there, we showed the same map, and then we come into playoffs knowing this is where it matters. So, like, we came in, played the maps we haven't showed. Obviously, they got the better of us on Bank, like, you know, GG to them for that. But it was just mainly, you know, coming in, playing our game, because we know at our peak, like, we're better than everyone else in this region, right? Like, I don't care what anyone says. At our peak, we destroyed this region. So it was coming in, focusing on our game, not caring about what they did. And it kind of helps when they don't really have an IGL, so their executes are kind of bad.
Pengu?
Just kind of I'm sure you heard my point about the proactivity. You guys are often, especially in Chalet, making a play, baiting in corners, going for a run out, ripping down a door, going for 2-for-1s. Is this a deliberate playstyle choice of how you guys are envisioning the game in the meta? Or is this just the synergy being on fire, just playing off each other's vibes? What's the general gist there?
Well, obviously the meta, in my opinion, is more aggressive than back when you played. You know, there was back when you played, it was very, very passive.
100%.
Nowadays on defense, because of this attacker repick, I feel you need to, you know, not let them set up, and like you gotta bring the fight to them. So us playing those like 2-for-1s and looking for that early pick, it gives us on that defensive room to breathe. Because like if you think about attack, right, what do you got now? You got the shield meta, you got the AIDS meta with like Bees, Cappy, Ying, like, and then you go back to your 20-second meta. We can bring your Ace, your Habana, like your OCE plates. Like you can do 3 different styles of attack. So on defense, it's like, okay, are we gonna let them execute with all the aids, or are we going to try and stop them and interrupt them at their first point, at their second point, at their third point? Like, what step do we want to interrupt them on? And that's basically how we play.
I think one thing that we look at overall for the storyline of GG, you went from villains at the end of last year to now villains in a different way with the pickups from Europe. How has that been mingled into the roster? Obviously, it's been, you know, you've had 8 games under your belt now with one of those being a best of 3. How's the team feeling overall?
We've never really cared about the people like talking about us having imports. To be honest, what I said at the start of the season is everyone that's complaining is just a sook because their orgs are too broke to import players, and GG has the money. So suck that. I don't know.
Gents, anyone else questions?
I did have a question because I was going to talk about this on the desk after, but may as well while you're here. So last year was all about, you know, you guys taking on, you know, Oda, a bit of a revenge tour for him. It ended up working, but, you know, now you guys having the last laugh. Next week, you guys are going to be playing against Enterprise. Obviously, Tuhan and Fisho, former teammates of yours. How do you feel going up against them?
Same thing we go into any game, really. You focus on yourself and the results come. But, like, everyone thinks, right, there's going to be, like, this beef or whatever. Like, if there is any beef, it's one-sided. Like, you see me and Oda, like, we just shit-talk each other. Like, you know, like, it's banter. It's, oi, get this guy off the desk. We're going to say some dumb shit. Get him gone now.
Oh, Wet, how are you, mate? It's good to see you fragging again. What was that? Was that 10?
Oi, listen. I am back, boy. I'm back.
I wanted to ask you, because obviously it's been a rough, you know, transition. You're a support player now, but tonight must have felt good on that final map, fragging out.
No, listen. I'm not support. Ready? I've been pulled off support.
Oh.
Right? Because I wasn't allowed to do my freedom stuff. Obviously on defense, I'm still playing like Marsho Cade, but that's whatever. I did that shit back in Bliss. But like on attack, I'm a bit more free now. Titan said, nah, this doesn't work. Wait, go kill people again. Go do what you want. I'm like, yeah, done.
That's terrifying for the region now. I think you guys are going to be locked in number 1. Good luck, Enterprise, next week. Wet is back. That's all I'm saying. I'm out. See you, mate.
All right, ciao. Pengu, did you have any other questions, mate?
I mean, I guess a quick one. What do you think about the general competition level in the region? Because obviously this stage are very close in standings. You got some new names in Enterprise and whatnot as a team. Is this like an actual 3-4 team region, or is it just you guys?
Oh, no, it's definitely top 3. But this is what I've said, right? Bliss splitting up was the best thing this region's ever seen. Obviously, if Bliss stayed together, right, and we stayed as GG that 5, no one would touch us, right? Like, if we're going to be completely honest, who was going to contest us if we were staying as Bliss, that roster, that 5? Right? Because the only other thing that would have happened is maybe we would have tried to integrate Jigsaw somehow, yeah? That's the only difference we would have, like, only change we would have made, right? But if you think about that roster, right? Who is touching that roster in OCE? No. So what we did, right, is like, we thought, all right, we want to try to push ourselves
Here
to
we
be better
go.
international. Wait, what's the Baldy talking? What's the Baldy talking?
International, when was the last event? I've been to more recent events than you have!
And guess what? When I stopped going to international events, how many international teams did we beat? 0. Without me, we don't have competition. I am the face.
Oh, God. Well, on that, that's a fantastic place to leave it. Do you have anything you'd like to say before we let you go, Wet?
Yeah, shout out GG, shout out the boys. You know, we played a really good game today. I love these boys. Best fucking team I've ever been a part of, by the way. Best team! See you next week.
You certainly will.